Drinking big
That-
silver cans of Sapporo, is
Look,
that it?
If you're
that's
broke,
what-
just say that, man.
That's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the. Remember that old trash commercial, Indio?
Oh yeah.
What beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer? No, yeah, he's dude. What do you think, man? I think they're in pain, dude. Every time we're having these conversations, they
Facts.
come in here like, something's bothering them. You're like, dudes, like, why don't you just like go outside and have a barbecue, man? Do something. Like, you'll feel better afterwards.
Family,
Do
friends.
something,
Come on,
man. You're all stressed out. Your hair's a mess. I mean, you got your bread stanking like hot garbage, bro. You gotta go do something.
And Nathan can come up.
No,
All
no,
right,
you
right.
can stay, or I can drop if you want to keep it in
No,
deal.
dude, I don't know how long I can. It's like 4 a.m., so I don't know how I can chill.
Oh, Indio's kind of
Actually,
Indio's stretching it
Yeah.
out.
yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, I'll make it as long as I can. That's all I can promise.
I just want to welcome on the panel Nathan Oakley. We're talking about him coming onto the panel. So, everybody, if you know who Nathan Oakley is, he's arrived. So, Nathan, welcome to the panel. If you're there.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Let's go.
There might be a little audio issues when you're starting to get used to X, but hopefully everything goes well. Getting acclimated with it. So.
Oh, good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, X Spaces is kind of like a platform that we're trying to get to now that it seems to be a little bit more open for us to have like a conversation about the topics that we speak of in here. So we've been here kind of doing a couple of episodes, and it's been going fairly well, except for like I think the major problems that we've been having are like the audio issues with people connecting. Because of it being like a stage platform, there's only 12 speakers at any given time, and then you have the rest of the listening panel could be any number. We could just exceed like a grand number of people in the listening panel. But I think the maximum number is 12 speakers at any time, one co-host and two, or excuse me, one host and two co-hosts. So, and then that would mean anybody else that comes along is just going to be able to come in if somebody else drops out after those 12 people are the limit of speakers are reached.
I see.
And so in order for you to have like a bit of like control in the discussion, I can give you a co-host kind of rank, and then you could like if I was, because the way you do it here is like if you mute the panel as a host or a co-host, then everyone else in the speaking panel is muted except for the two co-hosts and the host. So if you have one of those roles, then you don't get muted. So it's like a mute all button. It's kind of weird because you can't individually mute somebody. X is kind of strange that way.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to toss you the co-host role, and that way, if in case with the co-host role, you can actually give the ability for somebody on the listening panel to come up here and join us on the speaking panel, and or remove somebody. Like if somebody's being belligerent or doing something that you just want to remove them, all you can do is click on their avatar and then just remove them, and it puts them down to the listening panel. And so they're not in the speaking panel. So right now I'm just going to toss you co-host and see if you can receive that.
Let's freaking go.
Done. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yep. We have a number of listeners in here at the moment. Let me see. Currently 40 listeners, and we're also live on YouTube. So, and then of course, if you have your panel and how many people you have, listening on your show and such.
None.
But
it's just me. It's just me on my
Oh,
own.
it's just you. Okay. Yeah, and if like you just want to maybe do anything you want, get your style going, or I mean, I don't know what you have planned, or you just want to be a guest, or it's whatever, man. We can utilize this anyway.
I've not been long awake, so I'll hang around till someone says my name, and then if someone wants to ask me something or you want to drag me into a conversation, I'm more than happy to do so.
Oakley, Oakley, Oakley.
Yeah. We're just actually putting the question for the Globers who have been in and out of the chat. There's been a lot of epic failures, of course, with them actually coming forth and being able to form in a logical statement what they've been able to produce as evidence for them actually viewing a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. So it's been one of those kind of listening to them like fumble around with like logical statements. It's kind of what we always expected them to do when they come in here. So I just wanted to extend that to the listening audience right now that we have Nathan Oakley on the speaking panel. If you guys want to come up and maybe have a discussion with Nathan, gonna go ahead and open up the panel for that. If you're listening right now and this is your first time coming in here, this is 24/7 Flat Earth, episode number 28. And we've dubbed it the final proposition. It's a rebuttal to the final experiment because for some odd reason, people think that they went down to Antarctica and proved something. So we're asking anybody who actually believe that's the case to come up here and formalize it in a logical statement that it's possible that they proved or disproved the flat Earth or affirmed that the Earth is a globe. So if you want to come up here and speak, you can do so. Yeah, they've been. It sounds like every time we get these guys that come on in here, they have a lot of trouble with this. So I like for them to actually have the ability to come up here and see if they have any or what it takes when um, they think that they're able to prove something. So it's kind of for me, it's just an observation of just seeing how many times they fail when they are trying to say that it affirms anything for globes. So I've always been saying it's just a fantasy that they think that they're going to be able to put it in a logical form. So they're not. They have never even come close to it. So
Yeah, facts, bro.
Yeah, so for the benefit of the slow globers in the back, what that means is that supposedly Mr. Duffy orchestrated the coup de grace to the idea that the Earth is flat by supposedly conducting an event that will settle the matter once and for all. Now that it's settled once and for all, supposedly, you guys are supposed to come and gloat that the Earth can't possibly be flat by telling us how whatever happened in the TFE event proves the Earth is a globe or that the Earth can't be flat. Yeah, you guys don't seem to understand how to do that. I guess Will Duffy forgot to give you all the manual.
all right, for everybody here, what I would like to ask the people on the panel and everyone in the listening side, if you can just retweet, repost this to your profile page. So when you do that, what you do is you bring the attention to everybody who's following you. So let's say you have like 500 followers. Every one of those people who comes across you being in a space will see that you're in a talking space. So they'll come in and join. So what I would like is that all 40 people that are in here currently just retweet or repost this space. Like I said, what it does is gets the attention of everyone. So that's great. We want that to be the case. We want more people in here. And so the conversation can grow and people can come to the speaking panel and have discussions with Nathan Oakley, who's joined us as a guest and also a co host. So if you're in here right now, don't forget to repost or retweet the space out. That's it. That's kind of like the important part of what everybody needs to do right now. That's going to get more eyes on this space. So, um, we have Nathan Oakley in here. For, I don't know, Nathan, how much time do you have, like, with us? Short while or? Might be busy.
Hey, we got time today, man. We got time today.
Okay, we got Basto Max coming up. Basto Matic. I'm going to bring him up to the speaker panel. Basto Matic, welcome back.
Hey, you remember me, huh?
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
In like episode, what was it, like episode 5 or 6, something like that? You were
That
on.
you would know more than I.
But yes,
Yeah, you were on one of the earlier episodes, but
it
you
was
were,
an early episode.
I think you were conflicted at the time. You were still thinking that the Earth maybe could be a globe, and you were wrestling with that fact. How's it been going so far with that? Like,
Oh, I did discover something that was kind of interesting. I saw a YouTube where they were talking about how the guy used his fist as the Earth and the sun. I guess he used two hands, but so it kind of goes like this, right? So if we're supposedly rotating around the sun, right? And you've got the side of the Earth that's pointed towards the sun, right? So let's say that the sun is on the left, and the Earth is on the right. So we're looking into the sun. What would be, I guess, we'll call it west. Into the sun, what would be, I guess, we'll call it west, right? We could pick anything, but it'll make sense if north is 12 and 6 is south and like that, right? So the dark side of the Earth, we get to see space. You following? Does that make sense?
what I mean, the way you're proposing it, like, I understand the globe the way they talk about it, but you're saying that somebody had shown you some example of how they were
Well, it
trying
was
to
interesting.
describe it with their hand.
Well, so it was just a way to do an example. You could use anything, with the guy who was using his hands just to sort of illustrate it, because then you're looking like west. So the dark side of the Earth, you're looking west, for example. So kind of the deal is, if you're going around um, and you reverse that, so the sun would be in the middle now, or we'll call it the middle, because we're going to put the Earth, instead of at 3 o'clock, we're going to put it at 9. You're looking in an opposite direction. So how does the North Star occur every night? And that's sort of one of the things that I thought was pretty entertaining to try and figure out. And I've never had that proposed as, like, because you always see the Big Dipper from the northern hemisphere.
Yeah, they're showing you things that are cause uh, cause you to think about how is it possible that the Earth is a globe, and we still see the stars in a particular region of the sky. As it being a globe, it wouldn't work. Kind of an idea, right? But it's the only thing that I would say is, like, you don't have to talk about how it's not a globe. Just all you got to do is affirm that it is flat. Just the affirmation of it being flat could just easily, they can't get away from that, right?
Well, actually, what I took away from you is that
Go
they
ahead.
can't prove that it is a globe.
Of course,
The fact
because,
that
like,
it's
yeah,
flat
go ahead.
or some other shape, that is totally up for debate. But the globe thing, you and I can't do it, right? Because, like, we'd need scientific equipment. We need a vantage point that is not Earth, pretty much. Got to go up, or we got to be somewhere else to really view this thing and understand it. We don't have that ability. So a lot of what they've decreed as fact has been debunked on a myriad of different things throughout the ages, right? So this is quite likely something else that could be debunked. I have yet to really. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ideas. There's something kind of like a snowman or whatever, like multiple, like it's not just a globe. Or then you've got the flat with the ice ring on the outside. Like, there's a whole bunch of different concepts for what this could be. But we're just being told one thing and expected to burp it back.
Yeah, we don't. That's the problem with the idea that people have these concepts of what the Earth is they fall into a trap of reifying those concepts.
And that
So
was
whether
very
it be,
interesting last time,
yeah,
because there are a couple people after me that clung to some idea, and you had a very valid, like, course of reasoning, and they just clung to something and they weren't even making sense. Like they had to realize that they weren't really making sense, but it challenged their core belief, and they weren't even willing to entertain that something could be different, to just even have a thought experiment. Just like, life is going to exist. You're still, everything's the way it is. You'll do whatever you do tomorrow. You can go to sleep, wake up, life will be normal. But just for the sake of argument, can you do this exercise? The answer was no with a couple people. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it just
Mode. So I think you need to re-ping him the host access.
yeah. He shows his co-host up here for me. What I'm seeing is
Okay,
he as a listener? Is he a listener right now? Does
Uh,
he look that way to you?
Yeah, it's
who
a
knows,
listener.
brother? But yeah,
It's showing listener for me. Yeah.
Okay, let me switch. It's got a lot of bugs, so let me remove him as the co-host. Let me see.
well, dude, all the funding from Elon's corporation is going to fake space stuff. So I mean, they can't afford to fix Twitter, I guess.
Issues. Let's see.
I have heard Twitter is full of technical debt, and at the point when Elon purchased it, basically, the engineers were afraid to touch the
Uh,
the code. You
Yeah,
touch one thing, it causes a bug somewhere else, and
yeah. Basto, just excuse me for one moment. I want to see if Nathan's back on. Nathan, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was fiddling around and I think I left and rejoined. Sorry, my bad.
All right. I'm gonna drop co-host on you again. See if that works over.
Thank you. I'll try not to press anything.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's I don't know. I don't never really like the whole situation here with the audio and the way
It's
it works.
working though, isn't it? We are actually
So-
able to talk to each other and it's functional. So I get it. It's glitchy. It seems that way,
Mhm.
but it works. It seems to work. You're having a conversation.
Mhm.
I'm talking back to you. This is good.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see what else. So Basto, I mean, you've come up here, and you've had what? It's been a number of weeks since you've been here, since you last been here. Is that right?
yeah, it's like maybe 5 weeks or something. Well, you're on episode 28. Okay,
hmm
yeah, I thought I was in a low number one. Definitely.
Yeah, you must have been like 4 or 5, something like that. And doesn't like we've had many people come on since then. We had 2 pilots that Jedi had spoke to that were struggling. Actually, they spiraled out of the. One of them was acting like a big baby, and he was just over talking him. And like after he found out that he was proving that the fact that planes don't have to negotiate over any specific amount of curvature while in flight. I mean, he himself being a pilot admitted to that, and it was such one of the most amazing spirals out of like he just because when he admitted it was just amazing, and so he just just hard reset and try to save face and because he started over talking Jedi, so we kind of put him back down as a listener, and then after that he left. But the second pilot, well, everybody has trouble when they come in here thinking that they're of a specific profession going to prove that the Earth is a globe,
Well, that's the
and it's
thing. They
really
come
interesting.
in trying to refute you instead of just saying, maybe since we perceive everything upside down and backwards, maybe just perhaps I've got some belief that isn't correct. Or maybe like the educational system really doesn't matter what they teach, but the purpose is to uh, provoke and embed a response to authority.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, they
most
want
of
you
them.
to read and be able to do basic math and
yeah.
whatnot, but
So
yeah, they don't really work on critical thinking skills.
speaking of response to authority, I command everyone to go into the active chat and repost my post giving Nathan Oakley's information out to all the listeners that are going to be here today. So get as many reposts on that as we can. Thank you.
Did you put it in the jumbotron in the nest?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It takes a minute to populate in the nest.
I'm gonna
Unless it's
crash
the
out
Indio.
space. I'm gonna crash, guys. Thanks for the space, though.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by, man.
Yep, I'll be back around. Just gotta get some rest.
Yep, we're here. If we're on,
Sweet.
welcome back.
Wait, around?
All the best to y'all.
See ya, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, the
And
pilots really
we.
don't like the fact that they think they're experts on the shape of the Earth, but actually what they do disproves their claims. Like, for example, we've had a butthurt pilot for years in the flat Earth community called Wolfie 6020, who claimed way back in the day that when he gets the black box data, he's going to prove that the Earth is round because the plane flies in an arc path to maintain the same altitude. Fast forward to now, and there's still no data that shows that, but yet we have data that shows that the plane just flies level. And of course, Nathan Oakley's panel all the time, so he might actually have something to say about that.
Well, with pitch data, the guy gave us
Yeah.
the guy who gave us that pitch data was in my live stream chat yesterday, Buck Sodbuster, and he scraped all of my history from YouTube and started telling me stuff about ex-girlfriends from 30 years ago. I'm like, are you trying to scare me? Really? Man, you need a lot of cope at the moment, don't you, Globe Believers? You think going back through 30 years of my history on Facebook's going to somehow change that Earth is measured flat? Or that we've got pitch data in his case that he's given us? Like,
Wait, so he was a glober that was trying to give it to you to do what exactly?
I don't know. I'd ask me about jobs from 20 years ago, and I'm like, did you work for this job? Yeah, I did, yeah. About this girl, Gemma. I'm like, what? A girl that I nearly married 30 years ago? Wow, you've dug deep. Cope much?
Hey, we get girls, man. Hey, facts.
Damn, he went all the way back in your history just to look for something to find some dirt on you or something. What's
Yes.
wrong with these guys?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I said. Oh, looking for dirt, are you? I was like, there's a reason my name's public. I use my real name. You can find anything you like out about me. This isn't going to be some effective tool that you're going to utilize.
What that's called is a hate boner.
Yep.
Yeah, if you guys didn't catch that though, he's the one I suspect that gave the data, and then he's coping about the data he gave. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. So he's frequenting our chats more often than typically he had. And he's just some sock. He's probably someone else that's more well known than his sock suggests. Just some coward that doesn't want his real name to come. It's like, well, if you are an actual individual out here making videos potentially, then fine. Use your real name. Level your accusations, but they don't want to be caught out and be wrong on their own account. Can't risk their reputation. Me, I've got a totally different attitude to the internet. Like, if I get it wrong, I'll own my mistake. No worries. That's why I use my real name. I've always took that attitude from the day I started using the internet. But some people don't. They're like, I can find dirt on you. Why? Because you've got loads of dirt on you and you need to use a sock account to approach me? No. You might find things that you think are dirt, but they're perfectly open and public and discussed at nausea. But people who don't know that think they find dirt on me when they go through my Facebook profile. It's like, hello, we're measuring Earth flat. You've given us pitch data and now you're asking me about a girlfriend from 30 years ago. Sad. Creepy and sad.
I also
That
want
is
to.
kind of a trend, though. That is kind of a trend. Like, we've experienced it too in our time 24/7 in heated debates. The Glober will go to grab a citation, bring it back. They never even read the whole thing. We just read like the next 3 sentences, and it completely debunks what they were trying to do.
Well, in this
I do
instance,
want to give a. I was going to say I just do want to give a quick plug to Nathan Oakley. as he's just joining X. It looks like his account is brand new. So what I would also like to ask everybody who's in the chat right now to go ahead and follow Nathan Oakley. He has some of the best flat Earth arguments that you've ever heard on the internet. So if you can do that right now, I put the post that AI had put up on the Jumbotron. So all you got to do is go right above all the speakers right now and look into all the information that's up there. He's on there 5 days a week, 9 a.m. Eastern. So it's gonna have all the information there. But also don't forget to follow him. We're starting up with the following. So I just followed Nathan Oakley. So everybody, if I can have you just follow Nathan Oakley, click on his avatar, go to his profile page, and click follow. And that way we can start getting some more accounts to actually start following Nathan Oakley. Appreciate everything Nathan Oakley has done for the arguments putting forward, and hopefully that helps a lot of people out understanding just basic reasoning. So
For your audience,
W's in the chat for Nathan.
Thank you very much. For context for your audience, the guy we were just talking about, I'm just not talking about some random sock account that's come to my channel. In this instance, it's specifically referencing what AI asked me, which is about flight data. So that particular individual, the reason I've gone into his scope is because he provided us with the NTSB pitch data originally. So when it comes to your pilot that you were talking about earlier, conceding that he's flying over a plane, well, he's flying over a plane, that's how it's measured, and we've got the data to back it. It was given to us by this random sock account who gave it to Brian. So that's how we've got it. So after the fact, he's then presumably looked at this data and gone, I don't know what this proves. Given it to us to look at, we've said, well, it proves Earth's flat and measured so. Then he's, like I said, started digging through my Facebook account because I point that out to him whenever I see him. Thank you for the pitch data.
Oh, so he felt slighted because you're now using it for flat Earth evidence, and now he just he hates to be the guy that actually put that information out. So now he's just trying to throw some shade on you because of that. He feels slighted that's funny.
Basically, yeah.
But he put it out. It was his information. He gave that to you. It's not like you twisted his arm for it or anything.
Exactly. There's a very fancy name for that. It's called hoist on your own petard.
Looks like Yakub's son wants to come up here requesting to speak. So, see, Yakub's son's been on our panel before. I'm going to see if I can give him the speaker. Yakub, welcome back to the panel.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much, man. How about you? What you been doing?
No, just working, being a globe dog. Hey, you hear about the 24/7 sun? The guy took a trip to the North Pole, and I guess they convinced him the Earth was round.
We heard about those guys going over there, but what did you hear about it? Do you think that they've proved something for when they went down there?
Nah, I think everything's a psyop now.
Psyop? Well, why do you even say that?
Why do I think everything is a psyop?
Yeah, but no, based upon what you heard them go do. I'm not. Maybe that's not what you think about everything's a psyop. But what did you hear them? What did they say that they? What impression did you get? What did they do? They proved something.
Right, so I'm not an expert on it, but from my understanding, this guy was a pretty avid flat earther, and he thought maybe the videos were fake of the North Pole and the sun, and he didn't believe him, so they sent him out there. Some guy paid for a trip for him to go, and then I guess he got to see it for himself. But then I also seen a video of how it could still do that, and we still live in kind of a dome type situation. It's just, it's from perspective. So I don't know, dude. I'm not at a point to talk yet. I'm just a listener,
But sounds like Duffy spent that $500,000 wisely. Doesn't seem to have had much effect on anything.
God, that's a lot of money for a guy to do that. That's so. God.
What do you guys think, though? What do you think that did for Did it prove or not prove anything,
Marketing.
or?
No, it didn't prove
W
anything.
promo.
Proved there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica at this time of year.
Yeah.
So was that all the impression you got, Jakub? You couldn't make heads or tails now of like them saying that they proved that the Earth is a globe. They did leave a lasting impression on you, like they did something amazing.
I try to stay skeptical and not really convert anything to belief, but for the most part, no, it didn't wow me. I just figured that's like the newest thing in this spectrum, you know. But what do you guys think? Did it do any? Did you guys talk about that yet, or?
Yeah, it's exactly what Nathan said. It just proved a 24-hour sun. That's it. They just went up there. It's a bit underwhelming actually to spend $500,000 just to go see a sun up in the sky for 24 hours. And then
Yeah, they didn't.
what do you do for with the rest of the time? You know, have a snowball fight? Like, I mean, what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the proof of the snow angels? That's what I want to see.
Did you guys see something about the like the shadows? I seen like some pictures of shadows, like how the shadows weren't like they altered something or like faked something or.
Dude, I've been getting a feed, like people have been tagging me and saying that there's, I don't know, there's one side that the you know, people are saying that it was all fake, it's propaganda, and that they're CGI with the, you know, there was an image showing. I don't know if you guys on the panel have seen this image that shows like where they're standing, and then like some other thing that's in there in the shot, and then the angle of the shadows are like divergent, all like in the same image, showing that it couldn't be possible that they were all standing underneath like a sun that's shining, and like the shadows are all in the same direction. Have you seen that image? Maybe we can. It's in one of my. It's in the feed somewhere. I gotta look for it and post it for you guys.
From
I think that's
McToon.
exactly what I saw.
It's from McToon pacing around in circles, screaming my name at the snow and at Dave McKeegan.
Oh my God. No, Nathan, when they told me that, dude, I was like, what the hell is his problem? It's almost like his feet never touch grass at any point in time in his life. Like, what? Why does he have like this bee in his bonnet that he's got to talk to you about? Like, it's the guy is kind of off his.
Do you want me to answer that?
I posted two of those clips. I posted two of those clips in the chat thread too about this very thing.
Yeah, if you can, Nathan, that'd be.
Well, let's just deal with the more important stuff first, because that's far less important than what you're discussing. So, in terms of these shadows, right? Again, unless you're going to use it to affirm the consequent, it's not going to prove anything or disprove anything. Because if you're trying to debunk their claimed observation, you haven't done it, but I'm prepared to take it as read or not take it as read. In other words, if it's fake, okay. If it's not fake, okay. Doesn't prove anything. You're on the right lines when you're asking people who come here, okay, form a logical syllogism. Tell me how it proves something. And if they don't come to the conclusion that it proves there's a 24-hour sun at this time of year in Antarctica, then they're an idiot. If they come to another conclusion, then you have to take it apart based on its fallacious reasoning. But it doesn't really offer much. Now, when my panel have started analysing the data, I've told them to stop. Wait till the dust settles. There's going to be a huge purge of flat earthers that run away. There's already been commenters telling me, oh, I was really for AE, now I'm going to give it up. Oh, okay. You didn't know it was flat then. You just believed it. So, good for you. But when the dust settles, maybe we'll, or at least my panel, start actually putting out their analysis on this stuff. But I've said to them, for the time being, let's not do it on air. It's just not worth it. We don't know who we're appealing to because they're all up in the air. Once the dust settles, we'll know who we're appealing to. But while the dust is settling, the people who have been around for a long time and are seemingly going to stay are going to make their responses to it to justify it if they think it's an issue. And we can critique them. So we've already started. We've started critiquing people like Mark Sargent, Patricia Steer, who had a guy on with a model trying to explain it. Like, why are you trying to explain it? If you don't know what their claim is and how they say it proves something, what have you got to find a need to debunk? Why are you looking at shadows? Had they proved something for you to need to debunk it? No. Same would have applied. I'm far happier doing it this way around. I didn't know I'd be this happy doing it this way around. I thought the flatties might come back, having not shown the 24-hour sun, and I'd have to explain this exact same fallacy but to flatties and say, well, how does it prove it's a flat plane? Do you want to take me through the logic? And have them go, doesn't matter, we won, we're flatties, hooray! And you're like, oh, God, we're going to have an influx of even more flat earth numpty believers, aren't we?
Well, you're right. I mean, you're right. But it's also right to let the dust settle and find out where everything stands, and so we can point to the right people instead of just making these wild accusations as to like we got some kind of weird image that shows something that we don't know who to appeal to at this moment. So there's a lot of analysis that's going to have to go through after once it's
Right.
is all put out to the
But
information.
for the time being, the way it's been presented is this is thanks to us largely. They haven't actually presented the bad logic, the fallacy, because we've kept presenting the logical fallacy that would have to be used before they'd had a chance to even use it. So very rarely will you actually hear someone like Duffy or anybody from that expedition detailing how it proves the globe. They're too scared to. So the way this actually breaks down is it's an affirming the consequent fallacy. If I assume I go to the bottom of a ball, let's say I'm standing on the bottom of a ball. Now I've assumed that I'm here on the bottom of a ball. Let's have a look at the sun. Check it out. The sun did, doesn't matter what. Sun did that. Okay? That's what you've got thus far. I assume I go to the bottom of a ball. I look at the sun. I looked at the sun, and therefore I'm on the bottom of a ball. That's how the fallacy breaks down. If antipodal positioning, 24-hour sun in Antarctica, 24-hour sun in Antarctica, therefore antipodal positioning. No, it's a formal logical fallacy known as affirming the consequent. We pointed out from the moment it was suggested they'd be going down there. That's where it all begins. Down? No. South. With respect to a plane. South's a flat plane direction. You don't have south on a ball. It's nonsense. It's a two-dimensional system. They've superimposed on a three-dimensional ball after measuring Earth flat to create the ball. There's no south. What are you talking about? South's out there towards the horizon, flat on a map. And tell me that's the bottom of a ball by assumption, I'll point out your formal logical fallacy that you're about to employ by saying we're going down to Antarctica. No, you're not. You're going out southwards on a flat plane with pitch data proving you're on a flat plane, with maps that were made with flat plane angle measurements to stars, with a system that was taken from those measurements to create a celestial sphere, and then impose a globe within. Nothing about what you're doing, measuring, flying upon, sailing upon, has got anything to do with the globe, but for the fact that you say, I assume I'm on the bottom of it when I look at the sun, there is no globe proof here.
100's in the chat, guys. If you hear what Nathan's saying and it resonates, 100's in the chat. So I totally agree. I mean, it's I think they grew up with the colloquial way of saying down, like, so I think that stuck with people, and they're saying it now. Sometimes even flat earthers are just saying it, and I know what they mean, but it's just like when they say it, they're not being cognitive of like why they're mentioning down. So,
But
and
QE even says down. He does.
no, but Nathan's correct, right? So it's when it's said, they're not taking mind to like what they're saying, because they're affirming the consequent. So
Well, just for Flatsy, you need to tell him off.
Yeah, 100%.
No,
tell him off, Lexi.
No, I'm not saying
I
that to be
will.
funny.
Do you want me to?
Yeah,
I will.
no, I'm not saying that to be
No.
funny. There's a serious tone to what I'm suggesting to you, Flatsy, right? In the same way, QE, do you know how QE calls me on using the word model out of context? And he says, it drives me nuts and he tells me off every time I do it. You've got to do that. Same with atmosphere, same with all these words that we use incorrectly because we're verbally trained.
You know how many times I want to like correct Huey when he says down, and I'm
You
like,
should be.
oh, you're assuming an antipodal. But honestly, I can't even say that anymore, because if whatever is happening in the sky has like podal positions, then I can't say anything against it.
No, you can. You must. I'm suggesting to the entire panel that this is an opportunity as a reset's just occurred. I used to call it a purge, whatever you want to call it. Loads of flatties are going to desert it, the subject that is, because flat Earth subject, I should be more specific, because they only had a tertiary belief in it to begin with. They didn't know it was flat, So when someone comes along and says, "Oh, look, there's a 24-hour sun," I'm not a flatty anymore. Now, that's how I hear it when someone says that. Like, what? Well, how are those two things connected? You're not a flatty because you looked at the sun on a video. Explain how that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
so I will. I'll take up that that whatever that means. Like I'll take it up and I'll be like, hey, every time you say down, QE, you are assuming something.
Yeah, he is.
But I want to say this at least when you're talking about antipodal. That could be happening in the sky, but not on the ground. But like ground position of what's happening in the sky could absolutely be like antipodal.
What do you mean could be happening? Antipodal, opposite side of a ball. What do you mean that could be
Not
happening with
on
the
the
sky?
opposite. No, not on the opposite side of a ball. I'm saying whatever is happening in the sky could have like some sort of podal position, antipodal position.
No, flatsy. When you get to the sky and you're able to go around, then you can use those languages.
I'm saying could. I'm saying a lot of
I know.
like terms that are not um, definitive. They're suggestive. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not giving you something that you should take as 100% fact. I'm saying that this could be the case in the sky, but not on the ground.
No, what it means is diametrically opposed to. So on the opposite side of a ball, I correct people when they say upside down. So if I'm upside down in Australia, no, you're not. You're antipodal. You're diametrically opposed to the position I'm standing here in the UK. Just means on the opposite side of a ball. It's used like a synonym for Earth specifically, as well in the definition.
Okay, so I guess I was saying that like antipodal could be something that could happen in the sky, but not on the ground. That's the only thing that I'm saying.
Okay. Either way, when QE says down, which he does, he's inferring antipodal positioning, and you're absolutely correct to want him to not do it. And from this point, I'm not saying you need my permission, but take it as a permission to do so. Don't think, oh, it's QE. He shouldn't be saying down, but who am I to say? Well, you're in your rights to absolutely tell him, but don't tell him because it's like, oh, I've won a point like how smart I am. It's like, no, he shouldn't be doing that. Like, I shouldn't be saying model when I'm talking about a map. When I'm getting it wrong, QE will pull me on it, and rightly so. We're hypercritical internally. If you spot him saying down or atmosphere, or me saying model or atmosphere or down, which I do it too, you absolutely pull that person on it immediately.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it on anything other than that. He only ever says like down. Like
Going down
he
there.
says it a lot,
Yeah, he says
doesn't
going
he?
down there, doesn't he? He says going down there.
Yeah, he says that a lot, doesn't he?
He does.
Okay, we have Andrea that's coming up to the speaking panel and raising her hand. So let's see if
Before we go on to that, I just want to make a slight nuance. The idea of a reset really isn't fair. It's more like New Game Plus.
Yeah, next game. They keep
Yeah,
doing it's
exactly.
Fair enough.
history
Yeah,
repeats
but we
every
already
10
got
years.
our
Yes.
armor and our rank and all of that and all the experience.
Yeah, it dilutes
Yeah,
down
and I
the
just
good
got here,
people.
so you guys can just kick me out if you want to.
I have a quarter. I have 50 cents.
You have a what?
You broke.
I have 2 questions.
What's your question, Andrea?
I have 2 questions. One is why are our rockets shaped like spherically, like dicks, kind of cylindrically? And the
Oh
other
my.
and the other question was if Earth is flat, are all of the other planets flat, and the sun and the moon, are they not spherical as well?
Yeah,
Those
this
were
also explains why nobody understood your first question. Your second question gave you away.
No, I
So,
mean, like, why do we
yeah.
have to orbit like that?
Yeah,
If it's flat, why
I'm
not?
telling you that I'm telling you that your second question gave you away because you said something that's just completely nonsense and false on either side of whoever is claiming anything on either side that you're listening to. You should
Either
probably
side?
Yeah, so you should probably know who is representing a certain side before you go in and say that they represent something that you don't actually know about. You get what I'm saying?
No,
You
because
would,
I was asking it.
yeah, but you were wrong in a loaded question. So you had
Okay.
a loaded question for one side, right?
I had 2 questions.
Can I break them
Yeah,
both down? Can
but
I answer her? Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
The lights are flat. You can only get a 2D view of the lights in the sky. You asked if they could be flat, but you don't get 3D vision to the sky. You don't get binocular vision of the stars. You only get a monocular vision. It's like a 2-dimensional plane that you'd look through it through a telescope. Do you understand that? You're not getting 3D view of the sky? You said, would the stars be flat? They are. That's how we view them. Did you not know that?
No, I'm asking if Earth is flat or all of the other planets flat as well, and the
Yes.
moon
And
and the
my
sun.
answer to you, I've just said, I'll repeat.
I know the sun is a
I'll
star.
repeat it. That means I'll say it again because you haven't comprehended it. No. The view you have of the stars is flat. And you're asking, would they be? Like, hypothetically, could they be? No, they are 2D only view, not binocular. You don't get a 3D view of them. You can infer certain 3D aspects when you look at what are labelled things like moons.
But I'm not looking at
and you
them
can
through
use
binoculars.
suppositions like orbits. Orbits being the description of an asymptotically flat plane derived from flat plane angle measurements to Polaris to give you a radius value for a ball Earth, for Kepler to put in orbital motion on a 2D flat plane. That's what orbits are. You use that word too. You also said if the planets, as in this is hypothetical. I pointed out, no, you have got a 2D view of them. That's what you look at them as through a telescope. You're not getting a binocular vision, third time I've told you. As for if Earth is flat,
I actually have seen NASA's
I'm answering her questions.
vision.
She's just talking through me. You asked a 2-part question. That means it's not going to be a really slow process, a really quick process, sorry, to answer your 2 questions.
Bro, sorry.
You've got to shut up while I'm talking to you. I'm answering you, aren't I? Would they be 3D? Would they be flat? They are flat. That's the first part dealt with. Orbit, you say. Orbit's made by Kepler on a 2D asymptotically flat plane. You have no idea what I just said to you, madam. I know from the tone of your voice that you're not very bright, so I'm trying to speak slowly for you. That doesn't invite you to talk while I'm talking. It invites you to shut up and listen. She keeps talking through me. I'm telling her. She's asked. I'm telling her.
It seems that
Let me
I
shut
can't
up.
not talk. I cannot.
Let me
talk
shut up.
while you're.
I'm still talking. That means if Earth's flat, no, it's.
You don't like
Well,
my
okay,
answer.
I don't get to answer you then, do I, dum-dum? I'll try that
Of
again.
course you can. You just don't like mine.
I've
You
heard your
didn't
question.
let him answer
I've heard
you
your question. I'm
completely
answering you,
first.
you dumbass. Can you shut? I'm done. Why am I even getting? I've got my kids in the next room, love. I don't need to raise my voice to you. I was trying to answer your dumb question. You didn't want to hear it. You started talking while I was answering your 2-part question. Now you can go away.
Okay.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Don't want to talk to her anymore.
why are
Even when I'm
rockets-
telling her I don't
why
want to
do-
talk to her anymore, she's yammering through the top of me. How rude.
Shut up, bitch!
You're a triggered glurf. That means globe-believing numpty. Somebody who can't tolerate me answering your stupid questions. And in the middle of those stupid questions, they trigger you. It's oh so painful to hear me, a flat earther, correcting your dumb question and answering it. That's what I'm doing. I was trying to get to the end bit, the most important bit, the first bit you asked. No, actually, that's about stupidity about rockets and aerodynamics. We're not talking about rockets. Going to where? A sky vacuum? No, we don't have a sky vacuum above us for the rockets that you're asking about their shape. Maybe go and speak to somebody in aerodynamics. That's not us. But we had to try and get to the end of the 2-part question that had no bearing on anything we discuss here. Shape of rockets? What's that for? Going to space, a sky vacuum, a place where you think orbits exist, because you used the word. Now, I know how orbits was made, how it was invented, who invented it, when it was invented, and what it utilizes for you to reify it into existence for a ball Earth moving. I know all those things. You're asking about the 3D representation of the lights that we look through telescopes at. Okay? You've got absolutely no right to be talking through me, madam.
$100's in the chat, guys. We got Nathan Oakley in the panel right now. Apocryphon, Creation Bear, Flatsy Klein, Overlord, Beardman's in the panel, Yakub's son. Guys, if you want to have a discussion with the panel, go ahead and request to speak. We'll bring you up to the speaking panel. You guys can maybe ask Nathan Oakley some questions if you know who he is. If not, there's something in the top in the nest. Click on that. That's going to give you some information of his channels. Also, please do this. Follow him on X. That way he can get some people that maybe he can have some text conversations with. So go ahead and do that as well. Follow him on X.
Let's go. Let's cook. Don DeMarco.
We had some other guy that was coming up here, but he just wanted to interrupt. I usually bring people up here thinking that they're going to be cordial and be able to wait till someone stops talking, but he started to yammer on between you and that other person. So I put it back down on as a listener.
But also, don't forget that Alpha Veritas loves it when these guys come in hot and heavy, and he's ready to put them in their place. So you got to at least, I don't know, Alpha has his own style
No,
with the
the thing is,
floaters.
no, the thing is though, you know, Nathan's been bringing the heat for many number of years now, and a lot of people need to get to know who he is on X. There's a lot of these X globies and flatties that they don't know who he is, and if they don't know, they're gonna start to get to know him. So hopefully this space will kind of record, you know, his interactions here with the people so that they can get to know him because he's pretty
Yeah,
famous.
everybody
Hasn't
should get to know everyone that's prominent in this topic. And Nathan Oakley is one of the top prominent folks in this topic that you can
yeah.
go to
Oh.
and get good information. By
No,
the way.
I was
Oh,
just gonna
shit.
say.
Are we glazing right now? Fact.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
listen,
I'm gonna glaze over everybody
yeah,
if I'm allowed to.
yeah, Flatsy, hold on. I was gonna say that I think I heard mentioned Joe Rogan even mentioned Nathan at one time. There was I don't know what show it was, but they were like, "Did you hear about this flat earther guy?" And Joe was speaking about Nathan having a conversation with somebody because they had like a little snippet of him talking to someone. I don't know, Nathan, if you knew anything about that, or maybe you do.
Do you mean Joe? By Joe,
I
do you
hope
mean
so.
Eddie Bravo?
Was it Eddie Bravo that brought it to Joe's attention? But I know that there was someone that mentioned a clip on his show about you, and you were just, I guess, talking to somebody.
Really? Recently?
No. This was back in, I guess, in Eddie Bravo when he used to frequent Joe's show. But I do remember that there was a clip of you. You were, I guess, you were lighting somebody up, and it was just like, it maybe could have been Eddie bringing it to Joe or Joe mentioning it to somebody. But I did remember a piece of like a soundbite of you. I don't know. It was an interaction that you had with someone, but it was interesting because like you got mentioned, and I was like, damn, he didn't even give you props or like
I
who
didn't
it
know
was.
that.
He was anyway.
That's new to
I
me.
just thought that was kind of neat.
Cool. I'll have a look, mate. That's news to me. I didn't know that.
No, I just thought maybe you were already be like, oh yeah, I remember that clip, but I'd have to look for it actually. It's somewhere. It's in the internet somewhere, and I'm pretty sure we can find it. But um, yeah, if anybody wants to come up here and have a conversation, if you think that the Earth is a globe, uh, what we're doing right now with this space is the continuing series that we have here on Twitter, on X. The final proposition, it's a rebuttal to the final experiment. So if you guys know or not know about what happened just recently with people going to Antarctica and seeing the 24-hour sun, if you want to come up here, we can discuss what that was all about. Perhaps have a discussion with Nathan Oakley or us. It's up to you. Go ahead and just request to speak or come up here to the speaking panel. We see Arthur B. Flats joined us as well. See you there, brother.
Flat Earther.
I do have a question. Nathan, are you with the panel or are you just alone?
I am on my own, alone.
On my own, all alone. Just kidding.
Are you doing a show
Where the
today,
guns,
Nathan?
Nathan? Where are they? Where are the guns?
Where are the guns?
Yeah, there's going to be a few
Dude,
people.
that is so funny.
McToon's hair was on fire for Nathan. He was just running around like a freak.
You want to know why that was? I didn't get to that earlier. So just give me a sec. The reason that happened isn't because of guns, in case anybody hadn't figured that out yet. Right, some 10-year-old comment wasn't so egregious that McToon felt the need to yell my name into the snow. No. The reason Toon's yelling my name is because I've pointed out to Toon on no less than 100 separate occasions that he measured Earth flat. He did a 10K challenge and measured Earth flat in it. Now, me pointing that out to him is why he's screaming my name. Because he can't cope. Why wasn't enough for him to just go and see the 24-hour sun if that proves the globe? Not that we've been given the logic for how that would be the case, but if that's what they believe they're down there to do, you'd think it'd be sufficient enough evidence once they saw it. No, he needs to call me, doesn't he? Why? Well, because he knows he measures Earth flat too. And I pointed that out to him 100 times. That's what I said to him when he called me, although you can't hear me on the other end of that call on his video. I'm saying, what about those flat Earth measurements you made there, too? I've told you them 97 times. This will be the 98th. Then he rumpuses me. Then I say, 99th time, Toon. Your 10K challenge uses flat Earth measurements. And he hangs up the phone. As soon as he hears 10K challenge, which is what you can just about make out on his video, he puts the phone down and starts screaming about guns.
Oh, where's the guns, Nathan?
He measures Earth flat. That's the point. That's why my numbers have started going up. My viewers, my people requesting me on their shows, things like this have all gone up. People's interest in me and what I do and the people around me has gone up. Why? Because we talk about Earth being measured flat. That's why.
You gotta love it though, because that song was such a good highlight for how you live rent free in his head, buddy.
I posted the song, by the way, in the nest for anyone that wants to check it out later.
Yeah, it will never be enough for a globe believer. I'll always be living rent free so long as I'm talking about Earth's measurements and how they measure Earth flat. Everyone on this panel, if they were to measure Earth, would measure it flat. It's been measured flat for as long as it's been measured, and it will always be measured flat in the future. So anybody that comes up
Yeah,
with
but
Earth measurements will be presenting flat Earth measurements.
yeah, but it's only not flat because I saw the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, Nathan. So where's the guns, Nathan? Where are they?
And Nathan, by the way, I just want to make this point real quick. Let's say you get to a new job site and you have the elevation. The second that you establish your vertical, and then you do a benchmark of your height from that position that you've been given by the blueprints of where you're going to start, and you create a new horizontal that's now parallel to your position, and now you're continuing to measure the earth flat, and you can build as far away as you need to from that position, but in all directions of that you are parallel to a baseline that's been transferred inland, probably miles at this point, but it's just you are continuing the measured earth that is, to be a planar position, if you will.
Precisely.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, real quick, chat. Miggy, I just had someone join 24/7 the panel. I told them to come over here. So keep an eye out for a new speaker. Should be joining us shortly.
Cool. You know who I was having a conversation with the other day, APOC, was Duncan Darth. You know, the
that moron. Yeah.
now he was on about, like, he just, because when I pop into 24/7 and I listen in for a little bit, usually there's a glober in there saying some stupid shit. So he was saying that when he goes to his job, that he uses his theodolites to measure the earth as a globe. And that was like, when I was listening, I was like, what an idiot, dude. Like, you're gonna, like, in my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen in for a little bit more because this sounds interesting. So just listening to him saying that, well, you guys don't know that geodetic surveying is a thing, and we're measuring curve and as we go along, and I was like remembering the conversations that you had when you were talking to your that other friend that was measuring with John F. Kennedy. Is that right? The name of the place that
At John Wayne Airport.
John Wayne. I keep on mixing that up. John Wayne Airport.
Yeah.
But and how you told him about like how he did his measuring of transferring the line with rise over run, and then listening to him explain Duncan Darth, and just hearing him talk about like him using the transferring the line using geodetic surveying and saying that you have to use curvature. And I'm like, oh my god, I had to pop in, dude. It was like I couldn't hold back anymore. And I told him, I was like, so at what point do you account for curvature using the theodolite? I need you to tell me right now. I was pretty furious at that time because he's just a damn liar. He doesn't do that. Period. He never has.
Yep.
He's a
100%
liar.
lying. Yep.
So, and he's like, of course we do. I was like, dude, and I was at the point. I was like, dude, I'm gonna ban you. Like and then every time I see your name or hear your voice, I'm gonna keep banning you. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna make it a mission of mine to always ban you when I hear you or if I see you. Like,
Yeah.
so you need to be honest with everybody right now and tell everybody that you don't account for the Earth's curvature when you're using your theodolite. And I was like, I was on his ass, dude. Like I didn't let go. And then
Hey, yo, pause.
yeah, so he came to the point where he was like, well, if you're doing a 1 mile survey and you don't account for it, you don't need to. And I was like, you fucking liar. Like you see how you see
Yeah.
like he actually admitted it, dude, because he knew he had to.
Yeah.
Somebody that works with that type of equipment can't say that. There's no way. You cannot say that you're accounting for its curvature.
Exactly. You'll never. A theodolite doesn't know curve. It knows the shot that you're looking at because through its crosshairs, and that's giving you an angle to it, and that's a straight line. That the theolite doesn't know shit. You're the person. You're using. It's a tool, right? But now I'll say this: if you have a total station, and you have a shot, and you press the little button for atmospheric refraction slash Earth curvature correction, then it has an algorithm in it, and it will literally give you a position and say, oh, well, then I know where I am at according to this curve that we didn't measure physically, but I'm calculating it to. And that's when they go in and they write in their book, oh, this is where I'm at. And then they match it up with the NGS disk in the ground. And then they go, oh, yeah, cool. I'm right on point. I calculated it correctly. But that's why the importance of the John Wayne Airport, he transferred that line physically, not calculated it, not fucking guessed or predicted. No, he physically transferred it, and it didn't comport. It wasn't the same because the Earth isn't fucking dropping.
So
Simple as that.
Facts, bro.
you're saying that plane surveying is measuring the Earth as flat, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what it's doing. No, that's why it's important that you tell these knuckleheads that say, "Oh yeah, we do it," from miles away. Okay, now do yourself a favor, and now transfer that line in increments. Okay, and don't account for refraction. Don't account for curvature. Just transfer it, and look at by the time you get to the end of like 4,000 or 5,000 feet away, you're going to realize that your number, your measurement, it's not going to add up to the NGS disk that's in the ground. I guarantee you, 1,000%. It's not going to fucking add up because they're including a drop that doesn't exist and you transferring it benchmark to benchmark, leapfrogging it, you're going to realize, oh shit, the earth didn't fucking drop down as I got further away from my position. That's why I laugh at these idiot surveyors that are fucking coming in Discords acting like they know something.
Yeah, we got Liberty Conservative coming up to the speaking panel. I don't know if anybody
Yep.
else wants to put some input. Hold on, Liberty Conservative. We'll get to you in just a moment. If anybody wants to put input on what we were just talking about, if not, I'll turn it over to Liberty.
Right. So what Congressman was trying to say is go to the nest, share, repost Nathan's info. I think that's what he was trying to say.
That's exactly what I was saying.
For real, that's a plug right there. 100's in the chat, guys, for plug to Nathan Oakley's channel. The information's up in the nest. 100's in the chat. Go ahead and see if up in the nest you guys can click on that link and support Nathan Oakley. Go ahead and follow him. Also follow everybody on the speaking panel, guys. Me as a host, Alpha Veritas. We got Creation Bear on the panel. You got Apocryphon, Flatsy Klein, Overlord, Beardman, Yakub Son, and we got now Liberty Conservative, who we're going to turn over currently right now. And listen, request to speak so we can have you come up here. But I'm going to ask you guys, when someone's talking, just sit there and listen. Don't interrupt. Because if you start interrupting when someone's talking, you're going to go back down to the listening panel. So just request to speak and then raise your hand. There's an emoji that you can click on that shows a hand sign, and that stays on your avatar. So it shows that somebody who wants to speak will get the next turn. So just raise your hand. We'll go in order of people that raise their hands after the person who's speaking. So remember, guys, just be courteous and don't interrupt conversations when you come up to the speaking panel. So we're going to turn it over to Liberty. Oh, Liberally. Sorry, said that incorrectly. Liberally, I'm turning it over to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the homie from Discord that just joined. Welcome, Liberally.
Liberally,
They
yeah.
had some questions about flat Earth.
Liberally, if you're there, go ahead.
Might just have to iron out the kinks, but go ahead when you're ready, friend.
Does he know how to unmute himself?
Boomer detected. We also have two others that are requesting to speak as well, Mickey, if you want to check in with them.
Just kind of vet them a little bit, go through their profile. If they have more than 10 followers or something, then I would say just be cautious when you bring somebody up, because we got the porn bombers and whatnot. So always be quick to remove them as speakers if they're starting to. Yeah.
Gotcha. Looks like JBV's got some smoke for the flat earthers. He's reposting from Sly Sparkane.
Sounds good, man. Let's bring him up.
All right, let's cook, man. JVB. Is he JVP? Like not varsity? Okay. All right.
Yeah. JBV, welcome to the speaking panel if you're there. I don't know. Test 1, 2. Can you guys hear me? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're clear, bro.
All right. So my question is that the typically accepted flat Earth model was a disk with a sun that orbited a central point, the North Pole. Now, I appreciate that not everybody has the same model. That being said, the final experiment showed a 24 hours of sunlight south of Chile. How is that currently being explained by the flat Earth?
Okay.
Yeah, hold on, Fletcher. Hold on. I would like to be a bit courteous to our guests. So, Nathan, if you would want to engage with this individual, it's up to you.
So which part of the question do you want me to answer? The bit about a reified flat Earth pancake flying around the sun, or the bit about how we would explain it when I haven't made a claim about it? Which bit do you want me to tackle?
Either one, honestly. You are loaded with both.
But to the guy that was just speaking, so you've already kind of alluded to the idea that you recognise that you're offering us a straw man. So unless you've heard somebody here claiming that azimuthal, equidistant, North Pole-centric globe projection you say was debunked, then it's unreasonable to put it to anybody here. But it seems like you already understood that, because you're like, I understand other people might not be making that claim.
Oh,
yeah,
I think you're
it's a straw man fallacy to be claiming it and still in the middle of the same sentence. I was in the middle of the same sentence. Did I invite you to talk, sir? That is a question. Did I invite you to talk? Now he won't talk. That wasn't rhetorical. Did I invite you to talk when you started talking through me just a second ago, sir? Was there a reason?
Well, you're misunderstanding my question.
I understood your question. I listened to it.
All right. Feel free to reply.
I was. You interrupted me. Now I'm asking if, when you interrupted me, now he's interrupting me again. If you felt like you'd been invited to talk when I took apart your straw man.
It wasn't a straw man.
So you felt compelled to debate me in the middle of me putting to you that I haven't got that claim, I haven't made that claim. If you can tell me when I have made that claim, you can defend the fact that it isn't a straw man. When did I make that claim?
Are you done ranting?
So is that an answer to me not having made that claim? It is absolutely, without question, a straw man. You seem to identify yourself in the process of saying, some of you might not say this. Yeah, that's a straw man fallacy. So in the middle of me pointing out that it's a straw man fallacy, which is absolutely still the case, you felt the need to interrupt to tell me that it wasn't. Because you were compelled to, not invited to. It is a straw man. You stupid man. Do not interrupt me when I take a giant steaming dump on your poor use of logic. Straw man, I didn't claim it. Otherwise, if I had, you'd have told me where I claimed it in that long protracted silence when invited to offer it as my claim you'd be rebutting if it was not a straw man, Jay.
It was not a
Comprende?
question to you specifically,
Shut up!
Nathan, so
It means
calm
shut
down.
up! You stupid globe-believing dick! Nobody invited you to talk. I'm addressing your
Actually, yes, I
shite.
was invited.
Nobody invited you to talk, you stupid man. Now you've had to be muted by the operators of the server. I'm still in the middle of answering you. You felt the need to tell me, not a straw man, through the top of me, pointing out the absolute use of a straw man you used. No, stupid dick. Contain yourself. Yeah? You used a fallacy. It's called a straw man. You want to say, no, it isn't. Yeah, it is. I didn't claim it. Nobody had claimed it. I know most of the people on this panel, we don't claim globe projections as flat earthers. Something else, I can see his mic wide open and him making little muttery sounds in his mic. He can't wait to talk. He's not listening to me. I mean, he claims globe projections. What you held up from the, final experiment? Which it isn't. Fraud by a fraudster that you haven't identified. That's a globe projection. It's called the azimuthal equidistant North Pole centric globe projection. So if you're saying that doesn't work, what do you explain? Yeah, that's straw man. Burden of proof reversal fallacy. I'm not making any claims here. So you've riddled your questions with fallacy, Jay. Now I've broken down all of your fallacies. What I don't want to hear is some new question that ignores everything I've just ripped to shreds. I'd like you to thank me for identifying your poor use of logic, starting with the straw man you used. Nobody here would claim as a flat earther a globe projection, and that's what the AA map used in that garbage was, a globe projection. How could you possibly assert I'm claiming it when it's a globe projection? Straw man, hello?
Are you done ranting?
Can you get rid of him, please? I don't want to talk to this guy anymore. Don't talk to him.
you
Don't talk to him.
need to be here
He's
if
claiming
you
I'm
can't
ranting. He
actually-
interrupted me. I'm annoyed because he interrupted me to tell me it wasn't a straw man. I put it to him twice with him interrupting, telling me it isn't. He was keen to tell me it's not a straw man through the top of me, and now he's assessing whether or not I'm ranting. I didn't rant. I took apart your arguments with you interrupting, which annoyed me, and I had to raise my voice because he interrupted. And then because I've had to raise my voice because he's interrupted, he's asking me if I'm done ranting. That is what you call a glurf prick. You can't cope with his fallacies being ripped apart, asks me about how my tone's doing. Am I ranting? No, ripping a glurf, a new asshole.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. We got some other people that look like they want to come up here. We removed that guy. We got Keon requesting to speak. Let's vet him, make sure that he's got enough followers behind him before we bring him up. Yeah, he does. Keon does have some followers. We'll bring Keon up. Remember, guys, if you do want to speak in here, you have to have more than one follower if you're going to be a part of the panel. So it looks like the other guy, Flat Earthy, is not coming up here. So, see, is Keon up here now?
Yeah, I'm happy. Thank you
All
so much for the mic.
Go ahead, Keon.
Just a quick question. I thought flat Earth was dead. How are you guys still going?
Because it's measured flat. Earth is measured flat, so there's nowhere for me to go from a measured flat Earth. The globe believers who ask me that sort of question, under the misapprehension they've got a globe to stand on, when in reality the measurements I can't walk away from of Earth that are flat create the glurf belief you hold. So my question to you is, why are you holding on to a globe belief when Earth is measured flat to give you that belief? Why is he talking through the top of me? Is he the same as last guy? Or is it just me? This guy's talking before I'm done talking. I haven't taken breath yet. Asshole. Keon, your glurf belief is based on the measurements of Earth that are flat, and I can't walk away from them. I don't know why you'd think flat Earth's dead. No, it's measured flat Earth. Can't walk away from that. I'm now asking you in response, having answered you, why you'd believe in a globe Earth when the globe Earth came from flat Earth measurements. That's my response and question back to you, Keown.
Yeah, so who measured it flat and when did they measure it?
You could take any of your Glurf proofs, for example. You could take Aristophanes' sticks and shadows. That's angle measurements, otherwise known as elevation angle measurements. You heard of Aristophanes? Claimed to be getting the radius of Earth with sticks and shadows. Those are flat Earth only measurements. They're called elevation angles. That would be Aristophanes, part of the origin story of your Glurf belief. That's globe Earth belief you hold. That's based on measurements of an Earth that's flat with elevation angles, sticks and shadows, Aristophanes. That's a flat Earth measurement for your globe belief. I can do you better than just giving you a flat Earth measurement. I'll give you a flat Earth measurement your globe Earth belief is based on. So why would you believe it? You haven't answered my question, though, Keown. Why would you believe in a globe Earth given it's based on flat Earth measurements? You didn't answer me. You've asked a new question.
Yeah, because we have a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Yeah, no, we want to hear the answer to the question he asked.
That was what your question was based on. I don't need any help.
Yeah.
Your question was based on there being a 24-hour sun. That doesn't prove anything. Earth's measured flat. And I pointed out that Earth's measured flat for you to believe in. For your reification of a 24-hour sun on a globe, you need to measure a globe first. You don't. You measure a flat Earth and then create a globe in mathematics to suggest that this 24-hour sun would prove the globe you created with flat Earth measurements. You asked me what measurements. I told you of a measurement that came to give you your globe. Aristophanes, specifically. You haven't acknowledged it. You've then reasserted and rinsed and repeated a question about why flat Earth would still be here in light of a 24-hour sun.
Yeah,
You're ignoring me. He's coming off mute. I'm still talking.
Yeah.
You haven't answered my question, Keown. You haven't answered me.
Yeah.
Why would you haven't answered me? So I'll ask again, hopefully without you chanting through the repetition.
Yeah, I'm answering right now. I mean, if you stop talking.
Why do you believe in a globe? Earth's measured flat.
Yeah. So Eratosthenes, he was a glober. Number one.
No, that's not an answer. That's not a rebuttal. No, he measured Earth flat with an elevation. Can you stop him talking? He's got nothing except yammering through. It's just audio chaos rather than a concise demolishment of this dick. Keown, Aristophanes measured an elevation angle. That's a flat Earth measurement. It's not a globe. He's measuring Earth flat.
All right. So how about this, right? So we both know that the 24-hour sun.
This is non-responsive.
So can I finish, or are you gonna?
No,
you've not responded to what I've said.
So you want me to say what you want me to say?
I want you to respond to what I reply to you with. You've asked me about the 24-hour sun. Well, how can you still be here as a flat earther, you asked? Given that there's a 24-hour sun, you asked. I heard your question, Keown. You're repeating it. You're repeating it rather than acknowledging a single word that I've said. I've put to you, Earth's measured flat. And then I've told you how it's measured flat for the use of your globe in your question about a 24-hour sun. To create a globe to suggest a 24-hour sun's above it, you need to first take measurements. Aristophanes are the measurements. They're flat. I can't believe Earth is spherical when I know the measurements made by Aristophanes for your globe belief. There's more beliefs than just globe and flat, by the way. But my belief is irrelevant. I don't have one. Earth's measured flat by Aristophanes, so you can create a globe for you to believe there's a 24-hour sun on it. I've answered you 3 times. You just haven't acknowledged a single word in rebuttal in regards to Aristophanes' measurement of a flat Earth to create a globe for you to ask me about a sun being above it. Can you acknowledge anything I've said?
If you let me answer, then I will answer. But if you keep interrupting me, you won't get the answer.
That's non-responsive.
Can I answer, or you?
That's non-responsive. Also, that's not a response. Asking me if you can answer in a gap when you're talking.
So can I answer?
You're not helping. That's non-responsive.
Can I answer?
That's non-responsive again.
Can I answer?
I'm answering you by telling you your answer. Asking me if you can answer is non-responsive.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the response. So, the guy you're talking about, he did the experiment. How long ago?
No, it's not.
2000
Not an
years
experiment.
Ago?
That's incorrect.
Yeah, how long ago?
Who? Aristophanes. Aristophanes. I'm answering you. Aristophanes did not do an experiment. He measured Earth flat with elevation
Yeah.
angles.
How long ago? How long ago?
Who cares? It's what you're basing the question on. You're saying Earth's a sphere and there's a 24-hour sun over
Yeah.
it. No,
How
I'm
long
talking.
ago?
I'm talking. I'm talking.
You
Yeah, I'm
literally
talking,
interrupt
guy.
me first.
Dude. No, you say 24-hour sun because it's above a globe. I say, no, the globe comes from flat Earth measurements. That's where we're at. You're saying, how long ago? Sorry, historic fallacy. It makes no difference. It's your religion, not mine. Your religion has led you to ask me about why the sun's circling. Okay, the sun's circling. Who gives a crap? Oh, above a globe? Well, let's look at where the globe came from. Aristophanes' flat Earth measurement is where it came from. Your religion's based on it. Why are you asking me about when he did it? It's your religion that you based your question on.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna get to the point. So if you're saying that the Earth is flat and is measured flat, what you need to do is you need to organize an observation.
Why is he telling me what I need to do? I've never met this man.
So
Shut him up. Don't tell me what I need to do. How rude. How rude. If I do this, I must do that. Go and paint my house. If you believe the Earth's a globe, you go paint my house because I say so. No, don't tell me what to do. Who the hell do you think you are? I know Earth's measured flat. Aristophanes measured it that way for your globe belief. Are we done?
I know you don't wanna hear me, but
No,
No, this
you
guy's
don't-
done.
you don't
Get rid of
really
him.
wanna
He's
hear
done.
what I
He's
have to
done.
say.
I've heard him. I've
But you
listened.
keep
I've repeated back
interrupting.
what he said. I've heard him. Telling me I don't want to hear what you've said. No, I heard you.
Yeah, you didn't hear him. The problem is not
I'm
the
not.
other way around, but
I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to Nathan.
yeah, but I can hear what's going on.
Okay,
You
so
didn't hear
can
him.
I finish my answer?
Your
Okay, why
answer to
your
this
answer? There's only
question?
one question on the table. I answered you multiple times
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
multiple
I'm
ways.
gonna
My
answer your
question is,
question because
why do you believe
you
in a
kept
globe Earth
interrupting.
when Earth is measured flat? You haven't answered
Yeah,
that.
so
You
can you
just
give me
chanted
30
through it.
seconds
I
to
didn't get
answer?
it through clearly. You're not listening. You're talking while I'm answering. You're talking. I asked a question. It hasn't got an answer. Yours did. You think you've got the right to keep talking? Demand what I go and do now? It's rude. No. Answer my question. Why do you believe in a globe that Aristophanes created by measuring Earth flat for you to ask me about 24-hour suns above a measured flat Earth that Aristophanes created a globe with? Can you answer that? I've asked it 5 times.
Yeah, if you give me 30 seconds, I will answer.
That's
Like 30
non-responsive.
seconds without you jumping in. Can I go?
Non-responsive.
Can I go? Can I go with my
Asking
answer?
me permission isn't answering why Earth is measured flat to give you a
Just
globe to ask me about
answer.
suns being over. When I get to the end of my question, you keep asking for permission to talk. When I stop talking, I expect a response, not a question about whether or not you can answer me. Why do you believe Earth is a globe when that globe belief comes from Aristophanes in this example, because I've been asked, when I've answered you? From Aristophanes' flat Earth elevation angle measurement, sticks and shadows. Why would you believe in a globe Earth when you've got flat Earth measurements to back them? Those beliefs in a globe Earth. Go.
Right. So the guy you're talking about, he did whatever he did over 2,000 years ago. Unfortunately, we are in 2024 now, right? So if you say that the Earth is flat and it's not curving, what you need to do is you need to organize
Don't
an
tell me what I need to do.
observation.
Don't tell me what I need to do.
Can I
Shut him up.
answer the fucking
Shut him up.
question or you
Shut him
keep
up.
talking?
Shut him up. I don't want to be told by you, some faceless dickhead, what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be doing anything you tell me. I've told you how Earth's measured flat. You haven't responded to me. You've started telling me what I'm going to do to prove it ain't curving. It isn't measured to be curving by Aristophanes, so I don't need to do a damn thing. It's already been measured. Oh, you don't accept Aristophanes' elevation angles he calculated a globe into existence with. You don't accept them, too old. Well, then you don't accept your globe Earth, you stupid numpty. So you decry your own origin story of your own globe Earth belief then? Oh well, bye-bye globe Earth for you. You don't want to believe in that story. Oh well, there's plenty of other ways we measure Earth flat, sir. I don't need to do anything you tell me. I'll be telling you what to do. Bugger off and believe in a globe. You're an idiot. Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, he didn't have anything to offer. It was apparent.
It was so funny though, because I'm over here like, just answer the question.
All right, we got J Duh coming up as a speaker. Welcome to the panel, J Duh. J Duh, are you there? All right, I'm just going to give a quick plug while he gets sorted out with his mic situation. Chat, we got 62 people right now listening in. 62 people. We need 100s in the chat. Everybody go ahead and follow Nathan Oakley. He's a special guest this day. So if you guys can go ahead and do that. Also, more information in the nest to follow any of the other places that Nathan Oakley is found, either on any social media platform. We thanks to Overlord or AI, he put that information in the nest for everybody to look up. And also click on his profile if he has any links there for you to go look at some more material to follow him. But special guest today is Nathan Oakley. Hopefully he can frequent our show a little bit more. We kind of like that here. So everybody here, if you guys have any questions about the topic of the room, which is the final proposition, which is what we've been doing with the continuing series, or if you want to have a conversation with Nathan Oakley and form an illogical statement how the Earth is a globe via the 24-hour sun of what they went to go do with the final experiment in Antarctica. So if you guys want to have a take a stab at that, go ahead and you can talk with Nathan Oakley for a moment. I don't know how long Nathan's going to be with us, but for however how long that is, we'll go ahead and do this chat. So go ahead, guys, if you want to go ahead and speak. We got Jay Duh on the panel right now. Go ahead, Jay Duh, if you're there. Or did he leave? I think he left.
In that case, big shout out to AI. I'm only here because he hustled and pulled a few strings to make sure I was in a position, dumb as I am when it comes to using this sort of software, to get me here. So thank you, AI. If you can, send me some links to this, and when I publish this on my own channel, after the fact, obviously, I'll put all the links to hopefully usher people back to you. So the point that AI has done this is so that we have some cross-pollination in light of this 24-hour sun nonsense. People are coming and looking because they're intrigued. So might as well cross-reference each other's platforms and cross-promote each other. So that's my intention. But thank you for having me. Thank you to AI for getting me here.
Yeah, appreciate your time, Nathan. Always a pleasure to kind of hang around your chats and have you come through and such. I think it's just like it's awesome that people get to hear, when they think they have an answer to come against you and see like there's nothing they have to offer. I mean, they've been doing it with 24/7, but it seems like it's so apparent whenever they come across to like try to present any information or an argument to rebut flat earth. It's just you can see how they don't have an answer. The guy was struggling. The previous guy to that was hopeless. So it's just every single person that comes up here is just met with the same kind of thing. They're just gonna like have to prove it in some way, and they can't do it. So it's always amazing to me to see that. I mean, for one, I love to see that globe Earth is failing on every front. So
Now, okay, so Alpha Veritas loves a good selection of people to roast. If he's got a bunch of Globers in here, he's got you by the short hairs, and you just don't know until you talk. Go ahead.
You roast flatties in here too.
oh, hell yeah.
Oh, good.
Because it's like we hold everybody to the same standard. You can't just be in here saying dumb shit, and I think that's apparent to everybody when some of the I call them esoteric flat earthers. I don't know what everybody else calls them, but they like talking.
Yeah,
You're
well,
warming my heart.
Nathan calls
You're
him
warming my heart.
Witsit.
Brilliant. We're all on the same page. You hate bullshitters. Great.
Oh God, it's so annoying when I hear them talking about like what the sun's made of, and we figured out a map on the map on the moon is telling us how the flat Earth is, and it's so annoying. Some of the Twitter flat earthers, they dislike me. They call me a believer in what's it called? Oh God, the particle, the photon believer or something. I don't know. They talk a lot of mad shit. They say that I believe in photons, and because they think that I'm more of like QE's protege or something. They're trying to make me seem like that, and it's like No, I just don't like you guys talking
Yeah,
dumb
we
shit.
don't even have to make any claims. They just go ahead and label it. We don't even make those claims. QE makes more claims than we do, is what we're saying. And we don't even have to make those claims. They already make all of their claims for us without us saying anything.
Yeah, their
And
spaces
that's a
grow to
problem on
their
their part.
spaces grow to be 200 people in their chats, and they're talking utter nonsense. And it's to me, it's like nails on a chalkboard. I'm listening
Yeah,
to a
we don't
bunch of
have to
people
say
talking
anything.
dumb shit. So some of them when I first came on X, they were coming in saying things, and now it's like it's a bit opposite. Now they're against well, those guys over there, those flat earthers are, they don't believe in anything. It's like, so you're gonna prove something with a question, like a question proof, or it
Yeah,
can't.
but
It's got to be something. It
exactly.
can't be nothing, really. How does that prove anything, man? Like you're not saying anything, and
This
it's
is
it's
the
annoying.
Yeah, this is the problem because we don't get anywhere. They don't have anything. So we don't actually get anywhere. If they come in here, there's nothing to be had. They don't have anything. It always ends at what they believe. They believe something.
Yeah, Flatsy, it's got to
Okay.
be something. It can't be nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's always some sort of question proof. Exactly. So we don't have to look further past that because if you can't give us some extraordinary evidence for your extraordinary claim, we don't have to accept it at all.
Yeah, flat Earth believers, a lot of them, they come in here and they're standing proud on the fact that they just believe flat Earth is, what it is. They don't. There's no evidence. It's like it's obviously true. Like you don't have to say you
Yeah, but
believe in something that's true. Like
where is there a equipotential increase of voltage in the air? What is that measured from? Somebody give me the measurement of that. Can somebody do that? No.
all right, we got D369 coming up to the speaker panel. 100's in the chat, guys. If you like the conversation right now, and our special guest Nathan Oakley. So, guys, we got D369. 100's in the chat. Emojis. If you guys thumbs up, if you like what's going on. Appreciate you guys joining in. Don't forget to follow everybody on the panel. Shout out to everybody that made it in today to today's episode, the final proposition, part 2.
Yeah.
It's a lot of spiraling going on. So D369, you're on the speaker panel. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you're gonna give me the answer to the question I asked, that'd be great.
I'll let Flatsy get her answer first, and then I can go.
Well, I don't think anybody on our panel was rebutting that. She's just asking that to the room, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So-
not you specifically. If you want to answer the question, go ahead. But the equipotential increase of voltage in the air is what we were talking about before you came up. So I was wondering if that's the reason why you even popped up. But if you don't want to pop up for that, fine. That's great.
Yeah, no, I just logged back into here and put my hand up. I wasn't really in the conversation. I just had a question for Nathan. When it comes to plane surveying, and we're talking about um, using plane surveys over large distances. When you're doing the plane surveys and you go from say one city and you survey out, and then you go to another city and you survey out, is there a way we can verify these connections are actually level in the data? Like, is there a particular way we can do that?
Way to do that. They are level in the data. That's what the data is. You are measuring Earth flat when you survey Earth.
Right. I agree. I'm just saying, so, because what I would like to see is somebody maybe who's listening, who is good with these data apps and things like that, kind of go in and find the data that you're talking about. I use the same thing, and
When you
just
say the
put it out
data,
in like a nice.
you
Is there
mean?
a way we could just put it out in a nice way
Yeah, we
that
do.
everybody can,
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. What every measurement when you survey Earth is a flat Earth measurement. It is measuring Earth flat ipso facto. talking about elevation angles with respect to horizontal, depression angles with respect to horizontal, rise over run. Everything about the process of the measurement is measuring Earth flat. There's no, well, how do I show somebody that when we measure Earth flat, we're measuring Earth flat, is what you're asking me.
No, I mean, kind of, but I think people need to see like a large scale coagulation of this data put into like a single format that we can share in the community for everybody to kind of get on the same page with that data
I think
point.
it's pretty funny that he's sharing it with somebody that probably already knows the information, that you being that person, and he's sharing it with you the way that he is. I think that that's more telling than what you're asking him to do.
No, I think the only thing I'm saying is what Nathan's saying. It's obvious. D369. It's obvious. He doesn't need. What more can you do when it's already being done? It's obviously done. Like you, what? Why do you say that there's something more needs to be done? Kind of like
Exactly,
because
because
the
it's
average
already very
person,
clear, plain, and already on the table. Super simple, not
but it
complicated.
but it's not though, because for everyone who doesn't understand plane surveying, which is the majority of people, there is no way that you're just going to say, hey, it's been measured flat. They're going to look at somebody saying that and be like, no, it hasn't, because they don't understand it. So if the flat earth community would, I think it would be good if somebody could put it together in one format and maybe even create a model or visual based on the data to show people, visuals really affect people much more than talking about data points.
You know what? That's actually a good point. And just real quick, if I could jump in, because I've thought of that. I've thought of there's this guy that creates like you can like just send him an audio file, and then I think he uses AI, to be honest, but he creates like a little cartoon to whatever's being said. And I was thinking of like recording my story with my boss slash best friend, and then he can like do like this visualization of showing like somebody using a theodolite, transferring a line horizontally, and then like showing that when you get to the end it doesn't add up, and then like maybe some like little comical cartoon, like the guy like, oh, like, what, why isn't it adding up, and then showing that what it's supposed to be doing is dropping down according to the
No. Stop. I do apologize to interrupt. Just rise over run.
Okay.
Rather than telling people what it should do on a globe, I hate to interrupt the host, but by the same token, if you had a cartoon of what is rise over run, how is rise over run measured, something like that, you'd see how that would unfold for you, so you could present it to others. But that's what we're talking about. That measurement is a flat Earth measurement, though. I can see what you're saying. You're saying if you just go to somebody, well, that's how Earth's measured. It's measured flat. They'll look at you like you're strange. Yeah, they might, but that's just a fact. They don't have to like it.
Right. That's what I was saying. That's what I was telling these guys too. Like APOC, like you don't like D369 he's trying to make a point. Like something needs to be done. It's all why. I mean, so it's already.
Why? I
Yeah.
think because it would help the community. I think
I
if
agree to that.
we had a certain
But
an
wait.
easy way
There
to
is
show
no why.
people.
No. What I'm saying is like it's already done. That's the
Where?
practical. That's a practical way of how they're measuring the Earth. The raw data is collected by doing it that way. You can't just go out and say, "I'm gonna." How can we measure the Earth using planar surveying, and then you attempt to
There's
try
no
to?
measuring Earth as a globe. You don't
You're
have
missing.
that.
You guys
You don't
are
even
Yeah, no,
missing
have.
the point.
I get what you're
You
saying.
guys are missing the
You
point.
see what I'm saying?
You're missing.
No, hold on, just real quick.
Apocryphal. Got it.
I get what
Yeah.
D's 369 saying. He's saying that like to create like a visual, like that's why I'm saying like I thought about that too, like doing a
Yeah.
Who
cartoon,
cares about that?
because
It's
unfortunately,
how the
well,
Earth is
here's
measured.
why, Flatsy. I know, but Flatsy, I know that we
No.
get that. Flatsy, listen, we get that. You and I,
Yeah.
Nathan, Alpha, we get that. D, we all get that, right? But there are people, they don't get it, and that's what he's
Exactly.
It's
talking about.
great, but it's not incumbent upon us. Because here's the
I get
thing:
that.
it's not incumbent
That's what
upon us to like hold their hand and say, "Okay, look, this is how it's done." The information is already it's already out there.
I know.
All they have to
Well,
do
it's
is
not.
go like. Just hold on a second, man. All I'm saying is that the people who are lacking this information just need to go look into it. So, in other words, all you got to do is point them to the obvious way that it's already done practically. You don't. There's no more labor that needs to take place.
I
It's
get that.
already done that way.
I get
So
what
the
both you
There
guys
there
saying.
is though. There is though, and here's why.
oh man, like
If I pointed
I don't see why you're insisting on trying to make
There
it sound like
is no
we
more.
don't listen.
No,
What guys?
there
Listen,
is.
you don't need to make. Hold on, Flatsy. You don't need to make a cartoon or something else. The Earth is measured that way. When planar surveying is done, it's done in that fashion. You don't need to do extra things like
No,
make
you don't. You
the
don't
nice
need
little
to.
videos and things. Like it's why it's when you study this and you research how they're doing it, they're gonna tell you the same thing. Every surveyor, they say this. The raw data measurements are taken from planar surveying. They're not doing geodetic surveying to take information for like how they're measuring the land. It's not done in that way. So why do we need to do any more work to make it like, oh, let's kind of put it together in a package for these
Okay.
globers? Why?
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
get the why for that. Like
Okay.
it's
I'll try
already
to
out
explain
there.
to you. I'll try to explain to you the why. But I would like it if I don't get interrupted. Right? Nathan doesn't like being interrupted. I also don't like being interrupted. Can we just let me get 30 seconds and then I will stop? Okay. So the reason
28,
the reason
29.
why
No, sorry.
the reason why is if I go to my sister and I'm trying to explain to her, she's not going to get it. I can tell her, hey, go look at this data. She's not going to get that data. She doesn't understand this stuff. I've researched it. I agree with you. From my perspective, I don't need anything else. We don't need to do it. But I think for the community, I think it would be good for us to do it. That's all. That's it. Normal people don't understand it. We
Okay.
understand it. They don't. That's it.
Okay, I would like to propose this to you instead. Okay, I want to say this instead. I want you to be able to educate people in another way. Another way, meaning like you teach them how to process information instead of telling them what information out there is bunk and what isn't. You don't need to tell them what is and what isn't. You need to tell them how to differentiate what is and what isn't on their own, right? So you don't need to teach them about all of the aspects of Narnia. You could, and they probably will learn it along the way, anyways, because they're going to want to learn how to probably argue their point of view, right? So the main thing that they need to learn are the fundamentals. It's not about how much they can learn about something that isn't necessarily provable. They can just stick to fundamentals, and they'll be able to dominate any conversation because no one can refute somebody that's only giving you fundamentals or axioms or
Yeah,
those
but
things that we all
I'm just saying,
experience.
Flatsy. Let's kind of. I think you're moving off the beaten path. Like we're sticking with what he was asking, which is a way to describe to the glober how easy it would be to describe, planar surveying and like measuring the Earth flat in that way. It's like it's obviously like the practical way of how it's done. It's already out there for everybody to look at. So you don't need to. AJ, you have some backfeeding, brother.
Yeah, rise over run.
Oh,
Just need
sorry,
to
man.
just look at if there's a specific measurement. If it's for us, I don't focus on this. I think it's too small. They'll answer locally measured flat or some garbage. But aside from my preferences on what I like, if you want to use surveying and you want to explain it to somebody, just go and look up how it's actually done. What is being used in terms of a horizontal coordinate system, and rise over run is what's being done when they're acquiring their measurements and applying them to
Exactly.
Earth. So if you understand rise over run, maybe you can bosh up a video and pass it on to your sister. Now, don't get me wrong,
There you go.
your way of phrasing it is to say
Maybe
it'd be useful if there was this available for me to provide to my sister when I want to tell her Earth's measured flat. And she's like, well, how? Well, here's a video explaining how rise over run works. That's what you're asking for. And yes, I appreciate why you're asking. Good question. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, but I'm gonna look into that though. Exactly. Rise over run. Maybe there's something I can do with that. Appreciate you.
Pleasure.
Oh, rise over run is a big part of it. Yeah, it's from sea level. That's what we're always using.
And
So
that's
rise over run is
and that's and that's what
how
I
we
was saying, that
build.
that's what should be made into like a cartoon, because some people are visual learners, and when they see it even like comically like a cartoon, like everybody learn like that. As kids, that's the way you learn visually. That's a big part of our learning. Some, not everybody, but most people are. So like if you're trying to explain like, oh, this is why it's not like that, Well, if you could do like a little graphic, like a cartoon, like a little, like a little animation.
Anyone in
Yeah.
this panel right now could just go ahead and understand that if they have to build something, they have to level the ground first. They have to level the ground first. You need to be able to do that first before you build like a greenhouse. So if you're going to do some sort of greenhouse outside of your house, you need to level the ground first. Don't you? Am I wrong?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
but that's when it comes to people that are told from the globe side that that surveyors are counting for curvature of the earth. Like if you did an animation showing what they're actually doing, and then even
They're
including maybe.
measuring the earth flat. They're
Yeah,
only
I know. That's
measuring
the point. That was a good
APOC, do
point.
you think that there's videos that are out there already that show that?
I don't know. I know. Well, hold on. Let me take that back. There's videos that are that show how they do it. That's true. But like there's an actual instruction video,
My
and
husband
as
actually
well.
works. My husband actually works with theodolites and all that stuff. So all they do is measure the earth level. By the way, so that's. I mean, if you really want to know what they're doing with theodolites, they're measuring the earth level.
Yeah.
And,
All right.
It is
Yeah.
that simple.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, there is this information out there, Alpha, like you asked. I'm sure, just Google it, planar surveying, look for a picture, go to images, you'll find it straight away. I mean, the information's
Yeah.
very simple. Anyone can find it very simply. It's
Is it
250 kilometres square, which is 16 kilometres
Yeah.
equal sides,
It's
where
so
there's
simple.
20 metres of missing curvature. I mean, it's so simple. We don't need to link. Well, what I heard he was asking, if we were to survey one piece of land and then travel across the ocean and survey another piece of land, is there a way we can link these two together to show that
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
heights are
level.
level? Well, we
I
don't.
think it's
It's
more.
just
We
they're
I
don't
think it.
need
level.
to.
Yeah, hold on, Flatsy. I think it's more the case that he wanted, like, he's posing it to the group, right? Like, I think it's something that we can do if we can, make a video or do something to make it like packaged for the Glober, so they can look at a presentation of something that we show as evidence of the Earth is flat. Like in
right?
regards to planar surveying. But what I'm saying is, isn't there information that's already out there? All you got to do is
Yes.
pull it up. So to me, I think it's more of
Yeah.
the case.
100%.
Yes,
But what I was
100%.
saying, but what I was gonna say though, Alpha, is yeah, you'll find them online, but are they from a position of just teaching what the theolite does only, and then
Yeah,
showing that
what I'm
planar?
saying is you
Because they'll
can't you.
throw in the globe
Yeah,
calculation
I
in
know,
the
but
video. That's why.
but it doesn't, like, at some point they're going to have to talk about how the raw data is collected. So you
Yes.
can't you. There's no way you can fudge that and say that it's.
Yeah, but we don't have to. We don't
May I?
have to
May I have
sit
an
through
attempt?
their dumb
I
stuff.
want to boil this down, Flatsy. May I? Is that okay? I'm asking Alpha.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it, Nathan.
Okay, so there's a flipping of a burden that's happening. So this is a factual statement, but when I state it like the guy who's asking this question, cool question D6369, because it's caused this controversy. Because the way you phrased it is correct. You've put it to us that if I just tell my sister Earth is measured flat when we survey Earth, she'll look at you and go, well, what about after they've measured Earth flat and calculate it into a globe? Can you show me how after you measure Earth flat and I measure Earth flat, you then extrapolate out a flat Earth from your measurements of a flat Earth? Because when I see you measuring Earth flat, we extrapolate out those flat Earth measurements out into it being a globe afterwards. So can you show me how, on a bigger scale, you extrapolate out flat Earth measurements into a vast flat Earth? And what Veritas and I and a couple of others are saying is, you don't have to. At the starting point, you're measuring Earth flat. So there's a term, and I wanted to put it, I think it was deep, maybe it was the same guy, because it was a while back that this conversation started. There's a term, whistling past the graveyard. Yeah? We're measuring Earth flat with every process that's being described. If you just go and look how we use the tools for surveying, what is surveying? What do they actually do when they take a measurement of Earth? Well, they level their tool. with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. So they can do rise over run in a flat coordinate system. It's all flat at every stage. There's no apologies needed by you as a flat earther. You don't have to explain anything. But for the fact that a glober comes along and says, after I measure Earth flat, I say it's a globe. Look how I extrapolate out these flat Earth measurements into being a globe. How do you extrapolate out the flat Earth measurements into being flat? Can't be flat when we've measured it flat. Yeah, it can. I don't have to explain anything. No diagram or video is needed. We're measuring it flat. And if you ask your opponent, this is my final point, I promise. If you ask your opponent, oh, you're saying surveying suggests sphericity. Okay, take me through it and show me what they do when they measure Earth. And when they, that's your opponent suggesting this, not you, say, here's how they level their tool. Whoa. You don't have level on a sphere. Stop. What do you mean, step 1, establish a horizontal plane with your tool? No, not on a globe. Oh, no, we just need to measure it locally flat first. We can all agree and assume that we are on a ball, but we're going to measure Earth flat first. You're okay with that, Flatty, that I'm and you will measure Earth flat now when we level this tool and establish horizontals to put onto 2D graphs? Then we'll make the ball assertion, and you'll have to explain why I'm making that a ball assertion with these here flat Earth measurements we accept as being cool to measure locally flat. Because that's just locally, right? No, that's just us measuring Earth flat. I'm done here. Goodbye, you stupid globe-believing numpty. Do what you like with the flat Earth measurements. I don't need to make a video. That's not directed at you, D. No offense.
The royal you, but yeah, 100%,
exactly.
man. I mean, I that sentiment is exactly the way I feel about it. There's no way out of it. There's nothing more that. Why do we have to? It's like putting more work for us. Like, we are already telling you that that's how it's done practically. Why do we have to do more things? What more can we do? Like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, because
Honestly.
they want us to give us, they want them or us to give explanations, other, like, in place of just descriptions. You know what I'm saying? We usually just describe what we're seeing.
Yeah, but it's
as-
demonstrated that way. It's a
yeah, exactly.
demonstration of how it's done practically by professionals everywhere on Earth. Like, what?
It's fine because we're only describing what we see. We're not trying to explain it always, so we can describe what we see. That doesn't require an explanation.
Anyway, yeah, it's the most obvious thing, and it's, I don't know. Sometimes I feel it's a bit boring at times. Like, we're talking about the thing that's obvious. Why are we? What's there to argue about? Obviously, there's some people that believe that's that way, but that's because they think the things in fantasy land. We don't have to explain to them things that are done practically. It's already being done that way.
Exactly. We can just describe it. It's fine. We don't have to make a claim, and that's what drives them insane. Is that we don't make claims. We just describe what we see, okay? So you don't have to make a claim. You can just describe what you see, what you observe, what you have in your pocket, okay? You know that you observe these things. You don't have to, like, answer to anyone against what you observe. It's what you observe. It's an axiom, literally.
We got 58 people in the chat. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. Once again, I do a little bit of plugs every time I can in between every pause. So 24/7 Flat Earth episode number 28, the final proposition part 2. We're still asking people if there's any logical statements that they can put form to how the 24-hour sun has given proof to that the Earth is a globe, or if you'd like disproving flat Earth, I don't really care. Just come up here to the panel and go ahead and tell me how that's possible. But go ahead and see if you can have a conversation with anyone here that's on the panel right now. We got Creation Bear, special guest Nathan Oakley, who's joined us. Don't forget to shoot him a follow. If you don't know who he is, you'll get to know him. He's all over social media, so he's got YouTube channels, and he does do some shows, I think, every day. Nathan, I don't know if you want to give a quick plug to your show and possibly give the listeners that are going to listen to this episode
We
again.
would love to.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I would
I'll do my 20
do as
second
much promotion as we
pitch.
can.
So I run Flat Earth Debate. It's been running for years and years and years on the Nathan Oakley 1980 YouTube channel, where we run live debates daily from Monday to Friday on UK time, because that's where I'm running it from. It's 2 p.m. UK time that we kick off, and you can join the panel live every day. There's a link for the public to join and just come and do as we're doing here, I assume. You can join, you can ask questions, you can debate. It isn't a debate. Earth's measured flat, as you've probably heard if you've been listening for more than 10 minutes. That's it. Nathan Oakley 1980 is the YouTube channel. I'm on Twitter and all the other TikToks and things, but my main platform's YouTube. So check me out on YouTube, Nathan Oakley 1980. All one word.
Hey, Mr. Oakley, I got a question for you.
Feel free.
All right. I've asked this question before, but I feel like this might be my only opportunity to ask somebody as well versed as yourself. Are we all just mistaken, or is somebody lying to us? Because at what point? Because I'm sure at some point there's a lie, because you've easily, figured out that the Earth is flat. So is, I'm sure, many others. Why is the narrative still a globe? And who's doing the lying?
So is your question, who's lying and why have we got a globe? Is that your question?
Yeah, why are we all taught to believe that the Earth is a globe?
Oh, because all schooling comes in this particular aspect from its origins in the Roman Catholic Church when they created these mathematics of heliocentrism. So you're talking Copernicus, Kepler, and then later Huygens for scale. Those are the origins of the heliocentric, what you're calling lie. None of these people that created this mathematical paradigm, as it's now described accurately, intended to deceive anybody. They were trying to more accurately describe where the lights in the sky would be at given times. That's not an intent to deceive anybody 500 years later. How are we here now? I can go through the history of how we end up being here. But in terms of pegging anybody as a lie, there's very, very small numbers of people that I, on my show, can ascribe as being, quote, liars. Not very many of them. I mean, if you can point me in the direction of somebody who specifically lied to you about being on a ball, then feel free, you could be my guest. But
okay, well maybe I might be looking at it the wrong way. To me, it all seems a bit nefarious that we still believe something from 500 years ago with
not really that.
contradicting data.
I was leading him somewhere. Yeah, that's right. But you can believe whatever you like. The maths for describing where the lights will be, called heliocentrism, can and is reified into physicality by way of, what's that word? Belief. You're welcome to, as society will tell you.
Well, we're taught. We're not just belief, we're taught.
I'm still answering you. You're welcome to believe whatever you like. Now, you're saying you taught it. Yeah. Doesn't mean you don't have discernment to recognize what is stories, fantasy, religion. All of those things are also taught to you in schools or by your parents or by your own discernment. But regardless,
I feel like you're being fair here. I feel like you're avoiding what I'm asking you.
I'm in the middle of answering you while you tell me you feel like I'm avoiding you. Could you just shut up while I do answer you?
So now you want to shut me down because you can't directly answer the question.
I am answering it. You're interrupting. This isn't a prolonged interruption to me actually answering him.
All right.
For the audience's benefit, this is an obfuscation.
Never mind. Fuck the question. Fuck you.
Why is he now swearing at me? Triggered zealot. No, you can believe in whatever you like, right? I'm not asking you to believe it. I know how Earth's measured, so I don't hold any beliefs in this regard. But this guy wants to ask me, well, how did I get tricked? That's what he's really asking. How could I have been so stupid? Surely someone's to blame. They taught it me. No, you had no discernment and you didn't look into it. You didn't do any investigation. That's on you. You want to know the truth of this matter? Eventually, to answer his question, I got there in a soft way, but he's decided to swear at me because while I was answering, he recognised the awful truth of whose fault it is. His. Yeah? If you can't recognise that you didn't do enough research into it, you just believed what you were told, regardless of it having any primary source research logic applied.
Trevor, you're a Stephen Greer grifter. That's
Is he
what
now
you are.
calling
You're
me
a fucking
names?
grifter.
Notice I'm being called a
A
grifter now.
business grifter.
Why am I being called a
Wow,
grifter?
dude,
No,
you
I'm
are
answering
just
him.
giving
I'm
yourself
pointing out the
away.
origins of his answer. Told him it wasn't lies. He wanted to ascribe lies to everybody
Why is
rather
it
than
taught in
feel
school?
stupid.
Why is it taught in school,
You're
dum
giving
dum?
yourself away.
I told you it came from the Roman Catholic Church. I've already answered this question. You're not listening to me. Roman Catholic Church gave it you. I gave you the people who gave it you. Kepler, Copernicus, Huygens. That's why the Roman Catholic Church
The American
runs
school system
the
teaches you this. The
schools in
British
this
school
country.
system
Okay,
teaches
yeah,
you
And now,
this.
am I going to get called a grifter because I'm in the middle of not answering him, apparently, while he interrupts my answer to him about the Roman Catholic
he's
Church and
just
their
a numpty.
intention
Please
to
He needs
get
answer.
the
to
licence
stop.
sky
So
peg down?
maybe I
We get
said the fucking
we get
wrong
the lights
word that
pegged
you
down,
can
but he's still
fucking
going to chant
do your
straight through
speech
the middle
on.
of me. It's just a triggered zealot. This guy's become a triggered zealot. He's not
Not a
interested in
triggered
being
zealot.
educated.
Dude, what are you talking about? You know the question I'm asking. The audience
I'm answering
knows
it.
what I'm asking you, and
Yeah,
you're
I heard it.
deflecting.
I
Just
heard
in
it.
your little fake intellectual way.
Are you done chanting through the middle of my answers? Because I'm done talking to you, sir. You triggered.
Fuck you, bro. I'm over it.
Okay, bye. Thanks for joining. So
Yeah,
that's measured
we
flat.
removed him.
Just to summarise.
Damn, bro.
Just to
Who
summarise, I
hurt
know
him?
this guy was triggered, and now he's decided to carry on being triggered while I actually summarise the answer he chanted through the first time, telling me I wasn't answering him. Nevertheless, I will try and conclude that answer, which is you can believe whatever you want. I know Earth is measured flat because I looked into it, having suspected that something wasn't quite right. Doesn't mean that the people who told me what they also believed and have been taught down the line to believe when they taught it me in schools, which is your question, doesn't make them liars, as you phrased your question. I tried to deal with each part of it by unpacking it. The nonsense waffle this sweary little man decided to put to me. Yeah, I heard him. Oh my God, I might not get another opportunity to chant and swear at the person I'm asking about your failures in recognising your beliefs. You were taught in school. Yeah, the teacher didn't recognise me. They had a curriculum and they were paid a salary. As I grew up, I realised that they didn't actually do any primary source research for what was in the syllabus. The curriculum had no bearing on them and checking whether or not it was right. They just got paid to tell me that stuff. Literally, they were handed money. Amazing revelation for a dumbass that's going to swear at me. Dum-dum, you believed all this crap and now you want to blame the teachers? Call them liars? Well, aren't you stupid? I wouldn't do such a thing. NASA astronauts claim to be in a sky vacuum that violates natural law. They're definitely liars. If I was in front of Buzz Aldrin, I'd look him in the eye and call him that. Well, wait for him to lose his temper and punch me? No, he is a liar. I can call certain individuals who lie about being in sky vacuums liars. Your teacher isn't one of them. They were paid, and they had a curriculum. Where did it come from? The Roman Catholic Church. Now, as I found out through more research, it doesn't matter if you're a Muslim. In a Muslim school, you'll still get taught this Roman Catholic paradigm. Why? Because I've asked a few. That's why. Because I travelled around the world and asked people after the fact, after knowing that it doesn't matter what continent I have been on. People are people and you can talk to them. They're easy to ask these things. So I asked them, were you educated in heliocentrism in your Muslim school? Yeah, I was the answer I got. Telling me that it's not just Western world from the Roman Catholic Church that got this garbage to believe in, as you did, and I did. It's just I can have some introspection and face my own failures and recognise my own beliefs, where you want to swear at me and shout and call your teachers liars. It's sad. Get a grip. Meanwhile, Earth's measured flat. Still getting interrupted while I try and summarise the answer to a complicated question that had a lot to unpack in it. But people are going to call me triggered because there's a capability within me to unpack numpty questions about beliefs and liars. I'm done.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry, Nathan.
It's a friendly fire. No, but you're spot on though. That's very, very true, Nathan. It's
Yeah,
true.
I was agreeing with you every step of the way. Everything that you said is so true. It's just crazy how people don't see it.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's not they don't see it. They want to blame a boogeyman. And so, just like Nathan was pointing out, just
Yeah.
because it was, he doesn't now that he in this conversation he was realizing it wasn't a boogeyman he had to blame. It was himself that he didn't realize that. So he didn't want to face that. So that's why he got triggered and called Nathan these names, because Nathan pointed that out, and it hurt him some way emotionally, possibly. And now he's lashing out, making it sound like Nathan's a bad guy. Why? Because he pointed it out. That's the obvious reason.
Yeah.
There's no
No.
boogeyman to point at to say that some people are conspiring because he wants that to be the case so he can feel good about himself.
Oh man,
Oh, I
somebody's got to
wasn't
be the
deceived.
bad guy.
I wasn't deceived. They deceived me. No, you deceived yourself, dude. Because now, when you could critically think about the question, you're still believing it. So it's your fault, not the boogeyman. So yeah, he pointed it out, and it hurt him because he now knows the truth. So he had to call him names and stuff, and I didn't appreciate that from him. And that's what people do, man. They want to point to a boogeyman. Bree, I know you had your hand up. You probably fell off already. Go ahead if you wanted to say something.
No, no, no. I was just noticing how triggered these people have been coming in today, and it's been crazy. And you know, they have such a bad issue with just having formal or even just natural
Or not
conversation
being,
skills.
or not
And
being
hold on, Flatzy, real quick. Let
offended.
me finish, please. So yeah, and I was just noticing that I don't think that I I think that we should try to limit ourselves when also when other people are speaking as well. Like I know that we really want to tell the Globers hey you can't say that, or you can't dodge the question, but when another one of our members are trying to get a point across, I think it's not going to help anything, if we're like dogpiling, because it's just going to make them more angry, more frustrated, because they don't feel attacked when they're already being mansplained by somebody else. You know what I mean? So that's just one thing I was noticing, that I think it would help if we just let whoever is currently going at the person, let them just get it out and finish, and then we can, slide in and say what we need to, or what we felt we needed to. But besides that, the main reason I had my hand raised was because we're thinking about bringing back ladies' night. So if you guys know any female flat Earth women, then totally, like, you can hit me up on my Discord. I'll put my information in my bio here on X, actually. But yeah, you could also hit up AI. I think he's going to be the one trying to really organize it and stuff. But yeah, and it's good seeing you, Flatsy. I wanted to say hi to you, but I was like, oh yeah, there's so much going on. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, definitely. If you wanted to coordinate with something that happens on X so that you guys can get a little bit more following, hit me up as well. So you can do something on this platform, and then I could just be here as as a host, and then whatever people come in, you guys can start your own thing and then branch off of there. So whatever you want to do, it don't matter to me.
Cool. I think that's more of a question for AI though. So yeah.
Well, however you guys kind of work that logistics out. Yeah, so if there's anybody else that's in the channel, we're rounding out about the almost close to the last hour. So if anybody wants to come up and have a conversation with us, go ahead. The topic, of course, is of the room right now, the final proposition, part two. Part one was already done, so this is part two. I don't know, we might get crazy with it and continue the parts. We don't know how long we're going to go with it, but probably until we get tired of it, which is probably never, because I like hearing the spirals of these Globers think they have the answers. So
Yeah, I think that it's a great thing that you should do. The final proposition would mean that these people have to come up with a logical syllogism for their point of view. They can't do that if they can't come up with some sort of premises first that would validate their conclusion. So let them do it. This is a great thing. Come on.
Just real quick, Nathan, I believe it was quite a few months ago. I had made I'd said, hey, like just wondering if you were interested, if somehow you could, like simultaneously broadcast to X in the space while you, and then you're like, I got too much stuff going on. I got YouTube and Discord. I don't know if you remember that conversation a couple months ago, but like I'm still like proposing that, like that'd be cool if you still did that with a bot or however. How does he do it? Alpha, does he use a bot and the 24/7 Discord bot? of YouTube, and then he just throws it on Spaces, right? It's like it's not even hard. It seems very
Are you
doable.
talking about Helio?
Yeah, Helio. The way Helio throws it on, like he takes the 24/7 Discord and he just throws it on Spaces, or yeah, he hosts it, right? And then then it's just like it
Yeah,
runs.
the account is 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. It's in the listening panel. If you can see it at the bottom.
Right.
That's
So like
I think that's the one. When it's in here, it's broadcasting to like YouTube. So
right, but
I
then
think
on the
that's
flip
how he
side
does it.
though, like right now, like if you go to your homepage, you'll see that 24/7 Discord is hosting, and then if you click on that, I don't know if he's recording this or even over there just the 24/7 the politics one right now, but right now he's hosting on Spaces. Like 16 people are listening to that right now, but I don't know how he's doing it exactly, but it's not hard, obviously, because he's doing it. But I was just saying, like Nathan, it would be just another extension of yourself, and it does get people, and it would build up traffic, especially like going into your YouTube specifically, because you
Yeah,
could like.
yeah.
Well, on the flip side, if I was a listener on YouTube and I was thinking, oh well, how would I find my way to join this chat? What would they have to look for to find their way here to have this conversation with us? Because obviously I'm recording this and I'll put this on YouTube. So at this point, somebody's going to go, I wonder how I would join this discussion.
Yeah, well, they would have to be here like live now. Like if they were listening to it, then you could put the link of like what Alpha posted earlier, the 24/7.
Where's here?
Like
You
yeah,
could put something else other than you as some sort of listener that records the whole thing.
No, let's try it
No,
differently. And then stop. Let's try it differently. Where are we right now?
we're in Spaces. So like
Yeah, X spaces.
So like what we
X.
reposted, Nathan. Watch out! If you look in the either the pill, like you call it the pill, the bottom right, you'll see like where people are posting comments.
Yeah, I got it.
If you look,
Apocryphon. I got it. Right. You're not getting what's going on. I'm recording this, and all I want this to be is an appeal to my audience to find where I am now, engaging with you. So it just needs
okay,
somebody to say, "Oh, we're on X Spaces," because somebody's answered
right,
me now, so that
right.
the audience, my audience, can pick up on what this conversation is and go, "Oh, I know what X Spaces is." Now I don't. I have no idea. I'm just repeating what I'm asking. I'm trying to hint so that my recording's useful to cross-pollinate my audience with yours. And likewise, you're shouting me out through this whole thing going, go to Nathan Oakley 1980 on YouTube. He's awesome. And I'm like, oh, right, but I'm recording this. I want my audience to cross-pollinate with you. And I just need someone to say, oh, we're on X Spaces. I don't really know what that is, but I do now because someone said it, so I can repeat it. But that's about all I'm good for. What else could people do to find their way here?
I got you.
Just it's the hold on, APOC. It's the handles of people's names. So like the handle for my name would be AV_overdrive.
I was just gonna
So
say that.
or at AV_overdrive would be the handle that they would look to find my account, and then my account would have all the spaces logged into it. So like everybody's account has a handle, like on top of the name that you give yourself. So Nathan Oakley is the name that you have, but then your handle is the way they find you on X. So your handle is kind of like it shows like your profile and everything, and then from that profile, they'll be able to find like the information you put on your profile, which would be the links to YouTube and everything else. So your handle is kind of like a great way that they can find, me or you or
Cross-pollinate. Yeah, cross-pollinate. It's kind of like you're one of those honeybees, and you want to cross-pollinate with another honeybee hive.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. So how they do that is they go to the main hive, which is 24/7 Flat Earth Discord, www.discord.gg/flat earth. That's us. All the info's there. All the people you're listening to, you can link up from there. We also have a sister server called Flat Earth Debates. That's the server that holds Nathan's show. You can go on there. They don't have a vanity link yet, so you're going to have to search them or get a link. And that's how you do it.
And in that Discord, they'd get links to places like this, which is X Spaces.
Absolutely.
And gotcha. So the main hub is Discord, and that's Flat Earth 24/7 Discord. That's just how it's pronounced, right?
And you can go to
No,
mine.
Hold on, Flatsy.
But you can
no,
also.
Hold on, just one sec, Flatsy.
no.
How am I saying the first one? It's Flat Earth.
24/7, 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. That's the name of the server.
Perfect.
Now we do have a vanity link, which is just a simple discord.gg/flat earth.
That's
Perfect.
24/7. 24/7 has a vanity link.
24/7
Well,
Flat
good
Earth
news.
Discord.
Yes.
Correct.
Perfect. And that's the main
But
hub.
I
Yeah.
did want to say, I did want to add that if you follow me, you see QE's live streams, like Quantum Erasers live streams, because I always like share them, and all that's on my profile.
Perfect. But just for the benefit of my audience, so that makes perfect sense because that's actually how I've got here, right? So I've gone in and off the back of being told by AI in Discord that he's holding an event, and obviously the host of the event is a bit like my Google Plus when I hold it for my panel. Well, we're in X Spaces now to hold that. But the way I got my link was through Discord, which is 24/7, which is 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. And that's where you can find the links to places like this, and indeed probably to my show if someone's sticking that in there. Who knows? But in either event, that's how hopefully we'll increase each other's audiences, which is the purpose of this. But this is also going out on X itself, is it not? As it's being recorded, it's going out on
Correct.
X.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, cool. Very cool. I love it. It's my first time doing this, so I'm obviously a bit green. But yeah, cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So it's recorded and archived here, and then Helio restreams it to YouTube, where it's recorded and archived as well. There's live chats there. There's obviously chats here. Also, there's good news on the Flat Earth debate server. You actually reached critical mass for boosts, where now you guys can have a vanity link. So I'm sure Righteous will produce that for you
Hey,
in the
that's
next
so
coming
cool.
days.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I've got to toddle on because my kids have become little sods after several hours of me not obeying our regular routine. But it is close to Christmas, which is why I can actually do this in the first place. So I've got to thank you very much for having me and toddle on and say farewell. But thank you, especially Alpha and Apocryphon AI, all the, I don't know who else to thank in moderation terms, but you guys have been great.
Good to have you, brother.
Thank you, Nathan, for dropping by. You're welcome
Always
anytime,
good
brother.
to have you. Always good to have you.
I don't actually know how to leave. How do I? Oh yeah, there is a button. Leave. There it is.
See ya, man.
Thank you very much.
Later.
Cool. Okay, so again, for my own audience, another huge, massive, enormous thank you to the guys over on Flat Earth 24/7 Discord, and by extension, their X broadcast, and all the people who participated there, and to you in YouTube. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I'll crack on and set up for Flat Earth debate and see you all in the next video.